G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage.
Excuse me, I'm Tim.
And I'm Greg.
Go fuck yourself, Disney. G'day guys and welcome to Casual Rage 57, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. Excuse me. And it's been a very, very big week in news for Star Wars, for Marvel, for Disney Plus.
Star Wars.
There is a lot to talk about, and we will go through most of it, if not all of it. So welcome, everyone. Starting off with Tim. Hello, Tim. Open airlock policy. How are you?
Fucking great.
You're looking very, sharp.
Thank you very much. Just everything that's happened in my personal life's been great this week, despite the state of the world. Plus this news, it's just proverbial icing on the cake.
Yep.
Because, man, it's like you get a Schadenboner a mile fucking long, just like, man, I got it. Tomorrow I'm off, and Monday, actually. So I'm going to make some coffee and read all these threads that you guys had because I've been too busy to keep up with Twitter, but that's going to be my entertainment, is reading Twitter in the morning. So
yeah, well, I had a bit of a Spurg sesh on Twitter. I was sort of sitting there while I was writing all these messages with a smile on my face. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was a good week. It was a bad week. It's so funny. In one corner, it's kind of like this is all shit, and in another corner, it's like, well, I kind of feel a little vindicated. I feel like shit's sort of gone shit, but it's gone the way that I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we will get into a lot of that very shortly. We've also got Greg, Grand High Priest, Holy Order of the Jab. How are you? I love him playing that. I need to just get it put over the top of the intro.
Prayers have been answered, brothers. Prayers have been answered.
That's it. Prayers have been answered. Yes.
Well, hold on a minute. But are they prayers for Holy Order of the Jab or this other Holy Order that I saw you started this past weekend, Ryno? Do you want to tell us about that other Holy Order that we saw a screenshot of that someone sent me? Because I didn't have time to watch full Aussie this past weekend.
The Holy Order of the Film Actors Guild.
Is that what that stands for? Yeah. I thought it was Friendly Athletic Guys. So
close. Very close.
Very unoriginal. Very unoriginal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shame on you.
I thought I'd try and combine the Holy Order with the, SAG.
There can be only one Holy Order. Everything else is hearsay.
Okay. There's something I want to just check because I haven't been able to keep up to date with it today. The Rittenhouse trial. What happened today? Does anybody know?
Absolutely nothing.
Fantastic.
My son was telling me about some.
They deliberated all day. There was a little bit of drama that an MSNBC reporter apparently.
That's what I was talking about.
Who's under orders from he says he was given direction by some lady that works at MSNBC that he was attempting to follow the bus that the jurors come and go
I heard
from.
that. Yeah.
And the judge is like, all right, MSNBC, you're out of here.
You're banned, yeah.
Kicked them out.
I wonder how they're going to report on that.
In there and
have they reported on that? Like, have they bitten back?
I think they said that it was just like a freelance journalist, and but
right.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, no, not for a second. Don't believe anything the media says anymore.
Fuck no.
Or at least for a while, anyway. I just wasn't sure. I slept in a little bit today because obviously I was playing COD last night for a fair while, and I missed the entire thing from today. But yeah, that's interesting. What do you think's going to happen with that, Greg?
I think tomorrow, at the end of the day, they'll
have a verdict.
Mistrial, hung jury.
Hung jury. Okay. What do you think, Tim? Have you been keeping up to date with it at all?
It's either hung jury or it's a hung jury. I was going to say, or it's guilty, but I don't think enough pussies are on the jury to get a guilty verdict. But they are afraid. There's been reports of they feel under threat because, again, they're public, right? So you got to, if you're a juror on this case, do you have to move out of fucking state? Just because you upheld the law?
They'll go not guilty on the endangerment charge and then leave everything else hung. Because you can have unanimous, like each charge is its own thing.
Right.
So
yeah,
they could have a unanimous on this one, hung on this one.
How do you feel about this comment? Carl's defense team are hopeless. I think they've had some good moments and I think they've had some bad moments.
I think they were overconfident.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That people would actually rule on the evidence and the law. And
it is plain to see, so they were overconfident. They thought that they had this in the bag.
Right.
It was naive of them. I think if the prosecutor, if it goes to mistrial and the prosecutor chooses, and it doesn't get thrown out by the judge because there's still a pending request for dismissal, a motion for dismissal with prejudice, which means case gets thrown out, and with prejudice means they don't get to bring any of the counts back and retry it.
Yeah.
Setting that aside, if it's just a regular mistrial and they go to I don't know. If they decide to retry the case, that would be a huge mistake because I would assume then that the defense is going to challenge every bit of video evidence. Like, oh, no, you can't just test. See, what happened is like, because the video evidence looks overwhelmingly in favor of Kyle.
Yeah, the defendant, yeah.
You wouldn't scrutinize it. You'd be like, yeah, let it in. It does more help to my client than hurts. Next time through, don't allow any of it to be admitted unless it's like, no, you cannot call the detective that watched the videos on Twitter as the source of the
right.
Of the videos. Like, no, we need to speak to the person who shot that, who owns the cell phones, and we want the raw footage, otherwise inadmissible.
I've got a question though in regards to that drone footage that they brought in yesterday. Was it the HD version of that footage?
No, this is footage that was brought in last Friday. No.
The HD footage was brought in last Friday.
Last week. No.
Because it was after
No. It was before closing arguments. And the jury wasn't there on Friday.
It had to be before closing arguments.
It was after. They're trying to bring it in.
It was before.
No, because they only had the blurry evidence. Wasn't there something yesterday?
No.
About them bringing in...
The defense only had the blurry version, but they played for the jury in court the prosecution's version. Because the jury
But then
wasn't
doesn't
there on
that
Friday.
show that? But then doesn't that show that Kyle doesn't lift the gun? So why wouldn't the defense want that the jury to see that?
Because you're going in based on all the breakdowns and shit you're seeing on Twitter, where people are going, look, zoom in here, this proves it, and everything. None of that the jury saw. They only saw the still shot, the one still shot, and a slow motion version and a full motion version. They didn't get some random Twitter person breaking down the video going, no, that's the reflection on the mirror of the car. That's not his hand. None of that. So before closing arguments, and basically you have closing arguments, the evidence is closed.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecution had the high-res version of this drone footage. They, in my opinion, and I think the evidence will bear this out, is they downscaled it to a shit resolution, gave it to the defense. So the defense, once again, would look at this and go, this doesn't show shit. We're not going to contest it.
Right.
Then they're trying to convince the judge to let the evidence in. They didn't have the video on their laptop at the time, the prosecution. So the defense is like, oh, we have it. We can play it. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, no, that's not the right version. And then you had to wait for the prosecutor to bring the laptop, and then they show the HD version. And then the judge watched it like fucking like 20 times and then decided, all right, we're going to let the jury see it. Or the jury actually had already seen it at that point. I'm sorry.
Right.
What they were arguing over was whether or not, and this is on Friday.
Yeah.
They were arguing on whether or not
Kyle provoked the attack.
that they were
right?
going to include the provocation language
charge. That's right.
As part of one of the charges.
Yeah.
But the jury had seen the video already.
But see, I thought the jury had only seen the blurry video, because if you remember, the judge and Kyle, remember when they were sitting there looking at the TV? That photo's been memed a heap.
Well, both of them are blurry. Let's be honest. Like both of them, like
it's not even blurry. It's not even it. You can't even see anything.
The drone footage itself is from like 150 to 200 feet away.
Right.
Kyle is like way in the back of it. There's all these bright lights washing everything out around them. Like neither video is clear.
We believe this black dot is Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
I mean,
the jury saw the prosecution's version, not the defense's version. So the argument is basically, well, the jury already saw it. Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Really, they really shouldn't have been able to see it.
I just don't know.
I also think,
because
it's such a strange resolution, that I think they just ripped it off the Fox News broadcast and cut the banner off the top.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they even have the original drone footage.
They should have gone to Skirmitar.
Didn't the FBI guy or something come in and testify and say that was...
That's a different... The FBI footage is a different thing entirely. That's higher up from I think a plane or something else. This is...
yeah.
The FBI thing
that was the infrared one, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That one, they did show that one in the trial as well. So there's that drone footage, and then there's the FBI version. The FBI, this isn't part of it. This is some drone company or whatever that had that footage. Yeah. And I don't think anybody's other than Tucker Carlson and maybe Fox News has the original in full resolution, because I don't actually believe that it was even in 1920 by 844. I think they probably have an HD version, because Fox edited it before they played it, not the original file, but they did their thing so they could put it in the graphics for their show. I think they ripped it right out of the broadcast.
Oh man, I just don't see
submitted that as evidence, which is grossly unethical.
The thing is like, even before sort of the trial, if you saw any of the footage or even early days of the trial and you were starting to see the evidence and everything coming through, some of those early witnesses and everything, I don't see how anyone can see that it wasn't self-defense. Like the reasons for him going there. You know, people want to say the
here's the
reasons for
problem.
him going there was to basically just unload 30 rounds into a crowd. And
But
you know,
people have an
active shooter.
agenda, though, Ryno. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that if I choose 12 people in Kenosha, one of them is going to say that no matter what, Kyle's guilty because he shouldn't have had an AR-15.
Yep.
Or he shouldn't have been there entirely. And all it takes is one bitch on that jury that it isn't gonna refuses to budge, won't listen to the law, won't follow the evidence.
Yeah.
Just believes Kyle's guilty because he had the evil gun.
Because of public opinion as well. Like, I can't believe that they were able to hear the protesters or whatever, the BLM people out the front. Like, I couldn't believe that they could hear them in the courtroom. To me, like, it was people arrested and stuff. It's just crazy. Absolutely insane. I think that I'm right in saying that it was all in self-defense. He needs to be acquitted. He needs to be let go. Like, this kid's life is on the line, and you can plainly see that what he was doing in all those instances. No, I'm not going to say like the shooting of the people, not necessarily the right thing to do, or he didn't want to do it, but the events that he did, like wanting to go to the cops, he did all the right things, basically. You know what I mean? Like, in the circumstances. What's that?
Other than being there in the first place. And you all you have to do is look it up on Twitter. But
was it illegal? But was it actually illegal for him to be there?
No, but he shouldn't have been.
That's right.
But see, people aren't following the law. They're following their own personal politics.
Yeah.
Again, AR-15s. Like, I guarantee 1 out of 12 people you're going to find, they're going to be like, anybody, you'll see them. Anybody who has an AR-15 should be in jail, according to them. And they legitimately believe it. It should be taken away, or they should go to jail.
Yeah, and they can't explain.
They have no idea what an AR-15 is.
No, they can't explain.
Any other rifle, but
they can't explain the difference between an AR-15 and, let's just say, an M1, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I couldn't tell you.
Select fire and fully automatic for one.
What? An M1's not fully automatic.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said M1.
Yeah, my point is, you used to be able to go to Walmart. I think they stopped selling them. You could buy a rifle, right, that doesn't look like an AR-15. It looks just like a rifle, right? Same number of shots potentially. One bullet per trigger, same exact capability as it. But hey, it looks mean. It looks
But they were trying.
bad.
The thing though is that they were trying to go on the short barrel rifle stuff, and the thing is it's like they already knew that it was fine. They're fighting something that they know that they're going to lose, but that's where I look at it and go, isn't that where this case needs to be thrown out, like, with prejudice? They're clearly trying to act like get a mistrial. You can
unless
I don't know. You can plainly see that.
Unless the short barrel is a pistol, but then a bigger gun is more dangerous if it's a bigger gun.
The law has the barrel measurements in it specifically to exclude hunting rifles and shotguns and include in the ban pistols.
Right.
Because they did not want, they still wanted it to be illegal for a 16 and 17-year-old to have a pistol or any handgun. They did not want them to not be able to have on their possession a shotgun.
Right.
Or a rifle.
So was the gun that Grosskreutz had, was that illegal?
For him it was.
No, the fact that he was concealing it.
But isn't he convicted for something and he shouldn't be carrying a firearm at all?
I don't know if he's a convicted felon that would exclude him from owning a firearm. I do know that like the easiest thing to get on him was the fact that he was illegally carrying concealed.
Right.
You have in Wisconsin, you have, and this is actually somewhat recent in the last decade or so. They actually finally passed concealed carry. In Wisconsin, previously, it wasn't even legal to conceal carry. You could open carry,
Right.
Open carry means it's just people can see that you're armed. It's like on a holster on your hip or whatever.
Yeah.
Concealed carry is you're hiding it in the small of your back or in a holster underneath your jacket, or in your
behind
purse or something.
Yeah.
Well, I carry mine like I have this holster, and it's just a holster. There's no clip or anything, but it's got this sticky stuff, and you put it in your pocket so that you pull the gun, and the holster doesn't come with it. And my gun is like big enough to fit in my pocket. It's like that big. It's like a 9mm subcompact 6-shot. So that's the way the holster is designed. But some people put them in the small of their back, like you said, different places. So
right. I want to come.
Yeah, it depends. And so that there's a different. The law was designed to keep kids from having concealed weapons.
I'm ashamed to say I've never actually fired like a real gun. I've fired an air rifle, but that's it.
Yeah, that doesn't quite count.
No,
you should come over here. Just
I want to.
It's actually. I know a lot of people that are like, oh, geez, I'm not a gun person, and you bring them out to the range or whatever, or out to private property where everything.
Yep.
And be like, just try it.
One shot and they're hooked.
Those motherfuckers every time will blow through $300 of ammo if you fucking let them.
Yeah, that's
ammo ain't cheap or easy to find.
That'd be me, except I'd be going through $600 worth of ammo.
Yeah, they're fine. They find out that one, they're not nearly as scary as they're made out to be, and it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Unless, Greg, you're that guy that we found Monday from a few years back that he got PTSD from shooting a gun.
Reporter.
Yeah.
Really?
What a cuck. Yeah.
Wow.
What a little bitch.
All right. I don't want to miss the chat this week. I missed them last week, so I just want to we've just been.
We didn't do anything
20
last
minutes.
week, did we?
No,
yeah,
we did, but I didn't say.
Oh, we did.
Say hello to the chat. We just
Okay.
started getting into the topic. Sorry. So let's quickly go through and just quickly say hello to everyone. I see Dan in the chat. I see Jock Nerdy. There's Trey. There's the Senate, the Sentinel. Who else have we got? Let me just scroll down a little bit.
The Senate who got retweeted by the shit tonight.
Yeah, I did see that. Mr. Insanity.
Legendary. Mm-hmm.
Who else we got? Cecil's Ruxpin. Is that right? Cecil Ruxpin's love child.
Yes.
Who is that? I know.
I think Cecil Ruxpin is like the child of Cecil and Teddy Ruxpin.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You know who Teddy Ruxpin is, right? Ryno?
No.
Okay.
Who's that?
It's this fucking bear that they had in the 80s, and you put a tape in him, like a cassette tape, and he would talk and his mouth would move.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin.
Okay. Wow. Is there a picture with that? Let me see.
They probably called him something else down under.
I can't even make out what that is.
Me neither.
Can you see what that? No.
Here, do it again.
Hold on. Let me. We had Tim F in the chat. Is Cecil Ruxpin's love child? We got Jordan. OG Star Wars. I saw that she was driving and just lurking in the chat. Let me bring that back up.
Yeah, she's saying she missed my opening dance. Yes, she did miss my opening dance. If anyone did miss it, rewind after the stream's over and watch it. Here, let me.
I see what it is. It's like a little baby in like a bear onesie or something.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's a profile shot.
Yeah. But thanks for being here.
It looks like. Of course. Thank you, everyone, for being here, hanging out. I see there's 21 people, so there are a few lurkers. Thank you for lurking. All right, let's get into it. Before we do, I just need to change. So I will play this, and I'll be right back.
R4. Prepare to jettison the spare part canisters. Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! Remind Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we had the renewal of Kathleen Kennedy's contract this week. Tim's messaging me. We're gonna wear glasses. We're gonna fucking roast this shit.
Yeah, it's like the meme, you know.
Yeah. So of course we had this. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy's contract has reportedly been extended for another 3 years, meaning she'll be sticking around Star Wars for a while. Let me just ask you guys, what did you think when you saw this? Go, Tim.
Well, I didn't believe it at first. I was like at work and I'm like, okay, I'll have to look at this shit later. And then of course, here come the threads, you know, and I'm like, I can't read all this. So I got home, found out what the source was, and I'm like, well, okay, you got to ask yourself this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Puck is the source, and I have the full article, by the way, and no, I didn't sign up for their fucking website. But if you're going to believe Doomcock, then can't you believe Doom Puck? The same credibility level. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Or lack thereof.
I just want to point out, like, there are other channels out there that do report these similar rumors, and I don't know where they get their information from. But the one that's more well known out there and prevalent is, of course, Doomcock. Now, yes. What do you think, Greg, when you saw it? Are you there? No? He's disappeared.
He's eating his sandwich.
Yeah, that's right. He'll jump in. I'll see him unmute. So, look, when I saw it, I think I mentioned this in my video. I didn't know whether or not to laugh or cry. Go, Greg.
Laugh.
What do you think? You laughed.
I laughed and I cheered. Honestly, good. I'm glad. Because the people that are consuming Star Wars right now deserve 3 more years of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yep, that's a fair call.
Like, you've been supporting it. This is what happens. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said at the end of my video too, like, you know, if you've been enjoying what they're doing, well, this is a good day for you. You know, you should be happy about this. Keep getting. Go on.
And guys, it's not a good day for us because, we're happy she's here. It's because, like,
well, it's
we're right.
We've been saying.
Yes.
We've been saying it for ages. And like,
we want you to give up. Give up hope.
Even last week, before we had this news, I was saying if she was gone, we would have heard by now. That's not something that they can keep a secret for that long, I don't think. Especially with the high profile and how much people know that there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there that fucking hate Kathleen Kennedy. So I don't know how that was going to be able to be kept a secret if she was gone. So I was already convinced that she was already still there. And I didn't think anything of the rumors or anything like that.
Yeah, it didn't shock me in any way.
Yeah.
Like, of course she is.
Yep.
Let it die, like Trey says.
Oh, it's dead. It's well and truly. This is the thing. It's Disney Star Wars isn't dead. Star Wars is dead in regards to any continuation of any Star Wars. Right? We've got the expanded universe.
You could just be very, very specific. It just be the future of Star Wars is dead. It has no future.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah.
It had a good life at one point. Then it got cancer. Now it's dead.
Yeah, it didn't last long. Didn't even get chemo. Couldn't afford it.
There's no insurance program.
Now, I also found it funny that, like, I don't know if you guys saw, I had a nice Spurg sesh on Twitter. I had to put a few things out there, speak my mind, and of course, I did get a response from Doomcock on that. Just basically stating that I'm clearly not watching his videos and that he is right. Because he's been reporting now for maybe the last month that you know, oh, there is a possibility that she's staying, but she's got no influence, no power, something like that. And I just find that hilarious. It's kind of like, then so many people actually said it in multiple different threads that if you play both sides, of course you're going to be right. And that's exactly what happened. You know, let me just point something out. This was actually pointed out to me this morning. This was on the 9th of November this year.
You mean like a few less than 2 weeks ago? Yeah,
correct. This is after the 30th of October when her contract was already renewed.
Yes.
Do you want to
Actually, as of October 30th, as far as we know, she is no longer president of Lucasfilm. Her previous contract expired. If there is an extension, we don't know what the terms of that contract are, but we do know from sources that John and Dave, aka Favroni, as we call their shipping name, are not impacted at all. If rumors are true, how convenient. I mean, good grief.
But like, how can somebody say that they're right about her keeping her contract when 9 days after the contract expired and essentially would have had to have been renewed, this is the reporting that's being done? I'm sorry, like I'm not holding my tongue that much anymore because look, I said it in my video, these people are free to make the content that they want to make, right? They are free to do that. It's then up to us to determine whether or not that content is bullshit or not, right? And there are people out there that believe
it's fair game for criticism, just the same as Disney's fair game to criticism.
And I know that there are people out. Go.
I just want to get into briefly into this thing about like, well, she's going to stay, but she's not going to have power. And this is one of the most frustrating things about the rumor mill is that claims like that can never, ever be confirmed. Because Disney is not going to come out there and say like, yeah, we gave this lady a 3-year contract worth X amount of dollars, and she's literally not going to do anything. We're just paying her.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're never, ever going to come out to their investors and say like, yeah, that's the deal. Right. No. So like, these things are, you know, it just like things like the Lucas cut and other things like that. They'll just never be confirmed. So it's just, here's some wild speculation or some silly rumor, and it can never be disproven. So it just hangs out there. This one is like, well, she doesn't have any power. Then like, okay, then why is Disney paying her?
Yeah.
And I also look at it from the point of view of the Civil War. Like, okay, so if there was a Civil War and John and Dave won it and Kathleen Kennedy's been pushed out, why does she get 3 more years?
Right.
How does she get 3 more years?
Well, I mean, justify that to your shareholders.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna pay her, and I'm guessing at a minimum, she's getting a couple $100,000 a year, at a minimum. We're gonna pay her high level executive salary, and she's literally gonna do nothing because we just don't want to admit that we don't like her and fire her.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I completely agree with that, Senate. They report on very similar things.
I don't think does anybody take Mike Zero seriously though.
No, but this is the thing.
Is there anyone out there that
maybe? Why does that apply to Mike Zero?
Right?
Why does that apply to Mike Zero, but not to anybody else that's in the rumor mill? For example, Doomcock. Like, why?
Yeah, I know in this community, and I've been a part of it in you know,
since the early stages of the
fandom. OG.
I don't know if I'm OG or not, but I'm like
you're more OG than I am.
Pretty damn early.
You're more OG than I am.
Always lurking, never in the chat or anything, but always watching and listening. I don't think anybody has ever said that, like, ever taken Mike Zero at all seriously. Like, he's always been a joke.
But half the shit that he's always reporting, you can almost see right through it, right?
Well, right. And nobody really, like, and nobody gets on his case because everybody knows it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think the problem with some of these other ones is that people, it's not so much the content they're producing, it's the fact that like people believe it to some degree.
Well, see, it's also, and I tried to make this point in my video, I don't know if I did, but the fact that people believe the thing about the Civil War, the fact that people believe that Kathleen Kennedy's gone is what then creates this false and new hype behind things like The Mandalorian, right?
Well,
I mean,
in my Twitter thread, and it just kind of occurred to me, like kind of a good way to put it, like the whole narrative around Civil War and everything, is, to put simply, it's a loophole to without respect we reject.
Yep.
It's just it's plain. You can just compartmentalize it. So like, I'm not boycotting all Disney. No. I'm just boycotting this Disney because I think KK is attached to this one. But I like this one, so she has nothing to do with this one because I like it. And it just so happens it always cuts that way, right? KK is never involved in anything good, and she's always super involved in everything bad. And you take Disney and you compartmentalize it, and now you can bypass your hardline stance on like, oh no, I stand with Gina, or a boycott Disney Plus, or all these other things. It's that loophole. That's that wedge. Yeah. And the problem is it's not even just Lucasfilm. It's Disney. There's not one division of Disney that isn't operating in the same way Lucasfilm is. They're operating the same way in Marvel. They're operating the same way at Pixar. They're operating the same way at Lucasfilm. It's Disney.
Yeah.
And you can compartmentalize it and go like, yay, Spider-Man. Well, I guess that's a partnership between Universal and Disney, but yay, MCU, but shame on Lucasfilm. Like, no, it's all the same fucking company, parks included.
And it also comes to like the Gina Carano thing, and there's so much around all of that too. It's so funny.
I've got it.
Trey's just fuck Gina.
Okay, I will. I've got it though. I've got it.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of the country of Iran. I love Iran, and let me tell you guys why. It's because the Ayatollah and all his cohorts, and even the president, the puppet president, whoever it is at the time, they don't run the country. It's actually just like, what's his name? Like Ahmed Dinner Jacket, whatever the hell his name was. They don't run the country. There's actually a Christian church. They haven't captured this preacher yet that's out in remote part of Iran preaching Christianity. He's actually running the country. So I love Iran because this rando American-born Iranian of Iranian descent moved back to Iran, to his roots, and he opened a Christian church, and he's running Iran. I love Iran. That's the fucking logic. Wrap your head around that.
Yeah. Well, all you need is a couple sources to tell you, right? And then you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like we've always been told that this source has confirmed the rumor, right? And this or the rumor is coming from this source, which is an insider. And then he checks with his other sources, which are then, confirming that, okay. So again, I always ask the question, how many sources need to confirm a rumor before it stops being rumor? Where are the rumors coming from? They're coming from what, people that are contacting him? I mean, I could make an account, send him something and say, I'm from Lucasfilm, and this is what I'm hearing at the moment. Would he report on that? Like,
it's all the whole sources thing is just, it's piss poor journalism, because what happens too is it's like you come out with a report and it says like a source told me X, Y, and Z, and then you publicize that report, and then 3 days later your other sources go, oh yeah, that thing, I heard that too, and then it's confirmed. It's like, that's
self-fulfilling prophecy, circular reference, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's not quite a circular reference there, but because that's a separate issue. But
The circular reference is that's inception of sources.
it's
Anyway.
a confirmation bias. Like you're just saying, like, didn't this happen? Didn't it?
Oh, there was
And
somebody months ago
if you're a horseshit, just let me finish this, Ruff.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you're a horseshit source and you're just pulling his leg and jerking him around, but don't want to be exposed, right? You have to assume that the other people that are telling him aren't.
Yeah.
Because you play that game, it'd be like, what if one of these people are telling the truth? So I'm just gonna nod my head and go along with XYZ rumor and just say, yeah, that's what I heard too. And that's not a true confirmation. That's not independently verified. That's you came out with a report and other people went, me too. Independently verified would be don't give them any information, and they individually, separately, both give you the same information.
Well, see, the other
without
thing too
you
with
hinting
the
towards any of it.
Well, this is the other thing with the sources. I mean, we've had this conversation before too. You don't necessarily need to reveal them, dox them, or anything like that, but give them code names. Give them an identity for the audience to be able to go, okay, so this source has reported on this, and this is the rumor that's coming from what this source has said, and this source is John, right? Now,
or
John,
Fat Chilean. How about that one?
Whatever. John has reported this.
Star Wars character names for all I care. Just
that's right. Whatever. And then the rumor comes out. It's not true. Then he comes out with another rumor, and it's still from John. Then we can go, okay, well, he wasn't really right about that one, so I'll take this one with an even bigger grain of salt. But I personally don't think that the sources are even real.
No.
I honestly think that it's sitting down, and it's like when I do my scripted videos. I'll sit down and form the narrative of how I want my video to go. He's sitting there and forming the narrative of where he wants this rumor to go. That's what it feels like. Whether you like that opinion or not, that's honestly what it feels like, because there's nothing he can't independently verify them. Of course he can't.
Right.
Every fucking video I cannot independently verify, so please take it with a planet of crate. I mean, for fuck's sake. And then, like I said, how many sources, how many times, how many videos? I got sent something, and it was a fucking list from 2018 or something on all the videos that he's reported on that she's gone. Going into 2019, after her contract was extended in 2018, the videos had already started, that her contract is already going to be gone, or she's going to be gone by the time her contract expires next. Like, how can you possibly know that? There's 3 years. The
you know what would be insane?
Go.
You know what would be insane? If, I know this is probably not true, but what if it were like, it's someone from Disney just trying to keep the anti-Disney fans on board for one more year, you know?
That'd be brilliant.
It would be brilliant.
I'd do something like that. I'd be like, all right, fuck with these guys. Hell,
if people are going to believe it, keep on going. Keep on going.
I'd hire people to be the sources just to feed bullshit information.
I know we all want good Star Wars. Like the entire goal, I think, of most Star Wars fans right now is we want good Star Wars. Now the problem is that what's that? Cannot happen because they don't understand the universe. But what we've got, the reason why it's being praised is because it's not Kathleen Kennedy, right? If that stuff was Kathleen Kennedy and I was saying the shit that I say about hyperspace or tracking fobs or whatever, I think a lot more people would be agreeing with me, right? If it was Kathleen Kennedy that was behind The Mandalorian or behind The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Or The Mandalorian behind her.
And that's the exact point, again, that I made in my video, that it's that false hope and it's that false narrative that actually, I believe, to some degree, saved Kathleen Kennedy's job, got this extension. Mm-hmm. And, that means the Doomcock, in my eyes, is directly responsible in some way for the extension of the contract. Now, let me also point out that even if she left, even if her contract expired and she was gone, stepping down, retiring, or fired, I don't care how it happened, right? But if she left, do you really think that things are going to change? They're on a hype train right now with The Mandalorian because it's been hyped up because it's John and Dave. No, if you actually watch the show and you actually see where the narrative is going and you see these different little Easter eggs that they're putting in that lead directly to the sequel trilogy, the controversy that's happened with the Patty Jenkins stuff. I've talked about this a little bit. A lot of people are thinking that it's Patty Jenkins and Kathleen Kennedy versus John, Dave, and Bob Chapek. And that's the execs that they were going up against.
Yes.
I don't believe that for a second. I believe that Patty Jenkins actually wanted to do something decent, right? And Kathy came in and goes, no, we need to do it this way, or we need to have a female lead, or whatever she's done. And there was that creative difference, and she's gone. You look at the evidence in front of you. You had Colin Trevorrow. You had the guys from Game of Thrones. You've had so many people come in and leave because of creative differences. Back then, it was Kathleen Kennedy. Now, because the narrative is the Civil War and John and Dave won it, the narrative is, no, it's Kathy and Patty versus them. I do want to go through Greg's thread, actually, because the way that
Okay.
we can read that out, but the way he dot points it out, it's a credit to you, Greg.
But
You're
share
smart,
this
dude,
really
man.
quick. You missed this because fucking StreamYard hasn't fixed
Oh.
this. Yeah, Lethal
I've
Lightning,
seen it.
all of our great friend. He's been a member of your channel for 5 months, and he used his
Yes.
special message to say,
Thanks, Lee.
"KK contract renewed. Hits blunt and shades. Come on." Yeah, but Lethal, we explained it. We're not happy because of that. We're just happy because
we were
we exposed.
vindicated.
We're vindicated. And we're drinking tears of people
No.
with
No.
hope.
I'm not going there. I'm not doing that, Tim. Let me put it to you this way. I've been wanting to do a lot of talking about this for a long fucking time.
This is not a blunt; it's a cigar.
I mean, just ask Greg. I mean, I've been talking about this for a long time and been wanting to expose a lot for a long time. And
That doesn't sound good.
I just bided my time and just wanted to make sure that the evidence was clear. And exactly what I thought was going to happen when her contract was renewed is what is happening. No, I am right, because the narrative changed only a few months ago, so that no matter which way it went, it was a victory lap. No matter which way it went, it was a victory lap. You can go back 5 months ago, go back 8 months ago in the videos. I'm not going to do it here for you. If you want to check it out, go and check it out and see how right these people really are.
Yep. Or wrong, yeah.
Well, and it boils down to one thing. Like I will say, I am happy with the news, because
Here we go.
honestly, the people who have been supporting Disney, the people who have been supporting Star Wars under Disney, kind of deserve what they get. Yeah, but be a little joker, like you get what you fucking deserve. Like this is what you've been promoting, and like you tried to segregate and compartmentalize it and all this other thing. The truth of the matter is Star Wars will never be saved so long as Disney owns it. Again, I will reiterate, this is not a Lucasfilm exclusive issue. It is across the company.
Yep.
And until that changes, Star Wars, like, you can get rid of Kathleen Kennedy and they'll just put another person like her in her place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They have CRT training, guys. This is not going away.
Right. This is who they are. And if you're going to support it, and you're going to be of this mindset that, well, we need some Star Wars.
No, you don't.
Then this is what you deserve. This is what you're going to get. Like at best, mediocre.
And I've been saying this.
I don't even think they've achieved mediocre. But.
No. And I've been saying this, Greg. You know, on my streams, you've been on them for weeks now. You don't consistently and constantly need new material if you love a universe. There is fucking 15 years worth of reading material for Star Wars. If you start at the beginning, however you want to read it, if you want to use my suggested reading order, or if you want to do chronological, you'll have 15 fucking years of comics, books, movies, cartoons, whatever the hell you're watching. And then you can start at the beginning and you will have forgotten that shit. You don't need constant new stuff. It's this obsession with water cooler talk and being part of the conversation. Why I got to see the new stuff. I got to see the new stuff. You know, that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
And until people are willing to walk away, entirely walk away, even if they manage to produce something really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like odds are at some point they're going to put something out there that's good. Mm-hmm. I don't think Mandalorian was it. We've gone into that in excruciating detail in prior streams. That's not it. But at some point they might actually make something good. But it still doesn't matter. Like that'll be the exception, not the rule. And the more they're spamming out of Star Wars content, the worse that content is going to get. Because one, it's the Disney company philosophy. Two, they have this idiotic mindset that they need to hire director / screenplay people instead of just get a good screenplay, then hire the fucking director. They're doing it ass backwards, but that's all of Hollywood right now is doing everything ass backwards. Like you can be a fantastic director and be a shit screenwriter. Like they're two roles for a reason. They're different skill sets. And this idea is that we're gonna hire this catch-all person, and then they're gonna write it, and that's why you see this creative differences that KK. If KK didn't like the way the script was developing for the Rogue Squadron movie, she did her job by nuking it. Because
I also
her
want to
mistake
point
in the
out
past has been running with movies that weren't working out, and then they've had to make very expensive, very public course reversals with firing a director with 3/4 of the thing finished, bringing on a new director, reshooting a whole bunch of shit.
Hey,
like
on top of all of that, we've also got the Book of Boba Fett, which I reckon should have been what The Mandalorian was. That's the description. And the Obi-Wan series has been rewritten, right? The scripts were all done a year or two ago, and then that got rewritten, probably to include this rematch of the century, just to try and get everybody with the nostalgia.
Yeah, to make it less like the Obi-Wan novel, just like a isolated, self-contained story, right? Yeah. And make it into this galaxy spanning.
About that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah. But I just
wanted to got to tie into the big story that's out there. But the problem, especially, is post Return of the Jedi. What is the big story?
Yeah.
What's the direction? What is the state of the galaxy? What's going on? And even with the content that they put out with the sequel movies and the Mandalorian, it's all just a mess.
It's one big mystery box going forward after Return of the Jedi. There are no stable points in time. There are no stable
spaghetti
story threads moving forward. Like from what I can see, there's evidence to show that these things are attached to the sequel trilogy, but it's still like there still needs to be those connections, more connections. They still need to connect the dots.
Do you believe, if you believe that they're going to be able to connect these things fluidly by writing as they go?
Wow,
you have a lot of faith. There's again, just to circle back. there's the only thing that can save Disney is if Disney sells, or that saves Star Wars is if
Lucasfilm.
Disney sells it.
Yep.
Because as
I
long as
agree.
it's under Disney control, regardless of who's in charge of Lucasfilm, you're gonna get the same fucking shit.
Yep.
It's
Wall
just
breaking.
Same thing with Marvel too,
Flashy
guys.
lights.
yeah,
You know,
That-
dropping
it's
names.
Disney across the
dropping-
board.
Dropping the nostalgia bait and the cameo appearances
Right, that's the formula now. That's going to work for a little
and
bit. but then that's
babysitters
gonna
and
wear off.
the cute little children being looked after by their foster dads.
Yeah, and that's going to wear off. I think it wore off already a bit in season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
The novelty wore off and the cutesy thing. So then they had to go to the cameo thing.
The funny thing is, though, is like, has even after the Mandalorian season 2 has ended, has there really been like that much talk and hype about like the Mandalorian since? Like, I haven't seen a lot of stuff.
Not really, because the next thing is Boba Fett. So that's where the next hype train is going to go. But then also keep in mind that they're not doing this just with Star Wars, right? We're about to get a Spider-Man movie that's going to be the Luke Skywalker moment in Chapter 16 with 2 different Spider-Men coming in and
Toby.
Oop, there's Toby. There's your payoff. And the audience, I think the audience is going to get a little bit bored of that pretty quick.
Well, if there's no story and it's all nostalgia, you're going to get bored of it real quick. It's kind of like, I'm sorry to say, but it's kind of like what I'm hearing a little bit about Ghostbusters. The last 20 minutes, really fucking good. Honors what came before, but the hour and a half before, it's a little boring and so what? The nostalgia is the movie? And I don't know.
Greg's getting Timon pumped up for Spider-Man later, I can already tell.
I'm sorry, Timon. It's just what I've heard, man. Go and watch it. If you like it, good for you. Like, honestly, please.
So Timon's asking, sell to whom? I would say, I don't even know.
Sell it to me.
Sell it to Elon Musk. And then he can hire somebody that can do something decent with it.
He probably actually would.
I can do it.
He actually probably would.
Yeah, but do you have like $8 billion or whatever to buy it?
No, I can do the management.
Elon can hire you to run Star Wars.
Yes,
it's only worth $1 billion now. What are we talking about?
Whatever.
Can we read through? Can we please read through Greg's thread?
Let me put my cigar out here.
Bring it up.
Plus, I've been bitched at already about having smoke.
I just want to go through this because, again, like I said earlier, Greg, he's got a great way of articulating points. He's got a great way of actually simplifying it as well.
That's the thing about Greg. Like, he's the quiet type, but then out of nowhere, here comes this like 9-tweet thread. You know what I mean? Like,
I was shocked.
It's quality, not quantity. That's what matters with this guy.
I pick my moments.
So can we read obviously what Doomcock wrote first, and then of course,
does someone have it? Does someone have it?
Oh no, I know.
Could you pull it up? No, I don't have it.
I'll send it to you. I'll give it to you. So.
You
can show it on your screen so that you can read it easier.
Well, I want to make sure that it doesn't dox me or anything.
It's not going to dox you. It's Twitter.
Yeah, but there's bullshit in the right-hand side, and I don't have my VPN turned on.
Oh. Well, I'll send it to you, and then I'll show my screen.
Okay.
If I can fucking find it. Right. Where is it, Greg?
Oh, for Christ's sake, I tweet like 8 times a week.
What? I'm on your fucking...
I think you're overestimating that, Greg. Lost Jedi 22 is the account name.
I've gone way too far back.
Yeah, it was like 2 days ago.
Why isn't it? Oh, there it is. Fucking retarded.
I was gonna say, do you need me to DM you the fucking
No,
thread?
it's okay. I got it. I got it. I'm putting it in the private chat for you here, Tim. There you go.
Okay.
And I will now share my screen.
Twitter. All right, let's see.
I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat probably already seen the thread, but okay.
Oh, let's not go there too big.
All right. I gotta go. I gotta find it now too. Hang on.
It's in the private chat.
Oh, it didn't take me directly to that. Let me try it again. Oh yeah, I did. My bad. My fucking bad. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
You ready?
you can just memorize it. It's status 1460681906790486018.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even think we need to really show it on screen, do we? We can just read.
Yeah,
through it.
let's show it on screen.
Okay.
All right. He says, he starts this out, and this was a couple hours, and he's retweeting Doomcock.
What's
And I'll read what
say?
Doomcock said first.
Yep.
You thought wrong, and obviously don't watch or pay attention to my vids. I reported on this rumor months ago, with more details about the quiet signing weeks ago. Wait. Hold on. I reported on this rumor months ago I read that right, with more details about the quiet signing weeks ago. Anyone who doesn't understand Hollywood is unstable, and they change their minds constantly is rather naive. Who don't understand that Hollywood is what he meant to say. So, and then Greg retweets him. I'll admit it. I don't watch your videos anymore. They have zero informational value. Call me ASJW or a jealous YouTuber, but this is why I stopped watching. You don't share any information about your sources, or at the very least, give them code names. It's just vague sources. There is no way for your audience to evaluate the credibility of any individual source or even know how many of them there are. 2, your reporting is what you meant there, is nothing but rumors. When proven false, you fall back on the excuse that they were rumors to be taken with a grain of salt. With grains of salt, I should say. Now you are also using the excuse that things change in Hollywood. Why should I care about rumors from sources lacking credibility? 3, you take personal credit whenever any of the rumors happen to be true, but you won't take any personal blame for any that do not. See previous point. 4, you take credit for being right or confirmed when another party writes an article where your video is the source. It's very disingenuous. Your sources call both heads and tails. I love that point. Kennedy is gone. Kennedy is renewed. Hashtag you were right either way. Convenient. 6, a significant chunk of your rumor reports are unsubstantiated and will likely never be directly proven or unproven. Example, Episode 9 Lucas cut, Lucasfilm Civil War, and now KK having no power or authority. 7, any evidence that disproves the narrative's fucked. Like Favreau stating in an interview that he has a good working relationship with Kennedy gets waved away as saving face or public relations. I remember that. 8, the entire narrative. The narrative's fucked about factions and civil wars is a convenient loophole to hashtag without respect we reject. It allows people to simultaneously hate some Disney Star Wars while enthusiastically consuming either Disney Star Wars or other Disney Star Wars. The slogan is meaningless now. 8A, wow. If one likes the product or decision, then Kennedy must not be involved in any way with the production. If not, then it must be her micromanaging every single step of the production. Is that the end of it?
That's it.
Yep.
And then Steeg says you were supposed to not pay attention to that. Sub count is what matters. Yep.
I responded to this as well.
I honestly, that's the first time I think I read through the entire thing. I read like some of the replies and stuff because It's been crazy this week, guys.
And then my response to that too was, you reported KK was gone for months. When you noticed how wrong you were, the narrative changed. How many of your sources confirmed she was gone?
Yeah.
Was it those same sources that changed their minds and told you she's staying? I don't doubt shit can change, but this is a joke.
Yeah.
There you have it. I'm coming
Fucking
out of the
bullshit.
closet when it comes to this shit.
I'm just coming. So
Yeah,
great points there, Greg.
That just sums it up. There's a lot of the things that he does that just makes him lose credibility, and it makes the sources lose credibility. I think, and full disclosure, guys, I was a top tier Patreon.
Patron to Doomcock.
do you think he remembers you if he saw this?
I don't know. He follows me from back then. So he actually follows me on Twitter. So he probably.
I find it funny how people say that I find it funny how people say that he's living in my head rent free when I don't even watch. I'm not subscribed or anything, and he followed me after I started first letting it known that I think that he's full of shit.
But
incredible.
I was on his Discord. His Discord is actually pretty fun and great. At the time, it was a lively group of people in the chats, and everything was fine. And I think where it really went south, two things for me that opened my eyes. When Rise of Skywalker was coming out, and there were the Jedi Praxis leaks, right, from Reddit, and then he reported on it, and it was like that got him a lot of attention, got him a lot of subs, got him a lot of clicks, and I think he, instead of talking about lore and canon and how important things like those things are, he kind of switched into this like zero mode, and that wasn't the content that I particularly kind of enjoy at all, because I don't find the rumors, like, why should I, if it's all to be taken with a grain of salt and things change in Hollywood, then why does it even matter?
What's the point? Yeah.
And then the embracing of the Mandalorian, I thought was a betrayal, and I still think to this day is a betrayal of without respect we reject, because clearly that's not a rejection, that's an enthusiastic. That's where accepting.
Without respect we accept came from.
Right, and that was probably the biggest factor, and it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, like and to be like this hardline boycott Disney, fuck Disney, and fuck all this stuff and everything, but then consume it, and that's where you saw the switch. Then it became super about just Kathleen Kennedy personally, and not Lucasfilm or Disney. And that's when you started seeing the compartmentalizing and the whole thing where, there's factions and there's a civil war and everything. And that was kind of, like I said, that's the loophole. Like, no, it's just Kennedy stuff I hate. It's like, but Kennedy still produced the Mandalorian. Yeah. Oh, no, she didn't have anything to do with it.
And that creates that false praise for something.
I think it's a rationalization, it's a justification for backtracking on your position that you had before, which was like we can't support Disney's Lucasfilm if we want things to change.
Yeah.
And then now we're supporting Disney Lucasfilm anyway.
I thought you were going to say, and you kind of did in your first point, what turned things around in terms of support was, the 5 rules of canon, forget about that, because it doesn't matter when there's an emotional payoff. I mean, what kind of rationalization bullshit is that?
That was one of the biggest things for me. And that was because not a lot, but I know I was one of the ones that was pointing out how ridiculous that scene is. I was one of the ones that was pointing out that if you want to take anything good from that actual episode, that might have been it. But everything else in that episode was actual garbage and pretty woke, if you ask me. So if we go based on the narrative that if something's not woke, then it's good, then this episode should have been fucking shit, right? The
problem is the payoff wasn't even from something from The Mandalorian. The payoff was some sort of crumbs thrown from the sequel trilogy. Like the Luke appearance in The Mandalorian wasn't really much of a payoff at all for the story of The Mandalorian and from within The Mandalorian. It was a payout or a payoff from the shitty Luke that we got in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And it was like to even call that a payoff, I think is not even accurate.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest turning points for me. I used to watch Doomcock all the time, right?
Well,
and I know that he did as well. And, you know, the content wasn't too bad, but then it started to move into this rumor mill thing, and it was like, And then once we got to the lore and continuity don't matter as long as you get an emotional payoff, I was out. Yeah. I was like, okay, how disingenuous have you been this entire time if that is your true belief? I mean, if you go back to early days of his channel, he does a video about lore and continuity, I believe, and he specifically talks laws of canon. Thank you. Go and watch that video. Everything that he's doing right now contradicts that video. And look, I've had contradictions in my videos, but at least when it comes to something like that, right? My contradictions in my videos have been pretty much like, oh, I kind of enjoyed that. And then like after later thoughts or more watches of it or something like that, I'm kind of sitting there going, no, that was kind of shit. But that's different.
The topic is what it is tonight, but let's just be fair. And it's not just him. A lot of people, you know, were like, wow, you know, Mandalorian, right. Look at this. Oh man, you know, it's so great. I love this episode where like there's barely any talking and the Mandalorian's like fighting Jawas. That was so great, guys. You know, a lot of people did that because again, they're so desperate for some kind of new content, this addiction with new content that they accepted it. And then he's a leading voice, like it or not, in Star Wars. So a lot of people latched onto that, but he's not the only one. There are other big names that came out crazy.
I was about to say,
especially season 2.
That's why I don't like Star Wars Theory. He might be a nice guy and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, he went.
I don't know if he is. I never met him.
He went into the Rise of Skywalker saying, if Anakin's not in this, and you know, if like he's not the chosen one, and all of this kind of stuff, I'm like, this is bullshit. And then he comes out of it, and it's absolutely against what he said.
Yeah, exactly. In the Last Jedi.
But he loves it. It's
okay. They better not do this. They better not do that. And then all those things happen, and it's like, I loved it.
Yeah. How disingenuous can you be? Like,
no, there were a lot of other. There's a lot of other channels, and still are. They get caught up in not just liking The Mandalorian, but get caught up in selling this soap opera storyline, and it's a soap opera like of the lowest caliber, like young teenage drama shit. But they're sold and invested in this whole. There's a civil war and it's the factions and this article came out. What does it really mean? And reading the tea leaves and in between the lines and all this other bullshit. And they're as guilty as Doomcock when it comes to promoting that kind of thing. And I've just tuned out of them as well because I don't care about the behind the scenes. Like I'm not picturing some like epic battle for control of the company like it's some like it's some game or some TV show or
Like
anything.
it's like wrestling, you know?
Right? Yeah, it is almost like a wrestling storyline, but like even cheesier.
Yes.
And as far as the rumors go, it's not just Star Wars, right? We had a whole bunch of stories. If you're following Star Trek, you know, Kurtzman's out, Kurtzman's gone, STD is not going to get renewed, and it's like,
Take it with a
here
grain
we
of salt.
go. It's not getting renewed for the 3rd season now. Since that rumor started, like, oh, it's done after season 2. Wow, okay, we got season 2, we got season 2, we got season 3, 4 is just starting. I think it came out today, and then like I think they've already announced 5. So it's like, wow, and you know, Kirkman's definitely out of there, and boy, it'll all change when CBS and Paramount remerge and this other person takes over, and all this behind the scenes, you know, ooh, we're gonna talk business kind of stuff. It's all just wild, stupid speculation, and none of it's coming true.
Yep. Well, the reason why people, I don't know if they're like, the reason why people jump on the bandwagon for this is because
it's a message, guys.
You know, that they maybe their channels will blow up. You know, I don't know, but it comes across real disingenuous. I mean,
it just gets some attention. It's just attention-seeking behavior.
The thing that I was going to say way before was, I remember months ago, this would have been about 3-4 months ago, somebody puts out on Twitter, oh, is it too soon? Oh, hashtag Doomcock was right because Kathleen Kennedy's gone, right? This was months ago. And what that person had cited on Twitter was an article that confirmed what Doomcock was right based on Cameron Pasha saying it, but citing Doomcock's rumor. So it was almost
like fucking Atlantic article.
That was the Atlantic article.
This is
Kathleen. It's all about Kathleen Kennedy, guys. It's a message.
Shut the fuck up.
It was crazy. People are confirming the rumor, and the source for the confirmation is the rumor video that was made by the person that they're confirming the rumor.
Yeah.
Disingenuous, and they're all sitting there going, hashtag Doomcock was right. Why?
Because one person speculated the same thing as another person speculated after the person's speculation was public.
And used their speculation as their source.
Right.
Insanity.
Yeah, like, for those people in the chat, that when that Atlantic article came out, like, I think I annoyed the shit out of these guys in DMs and everything, and back rooms and everything, talking, because like I just went fucking ballistic when that whole thing was being spun, and like, this is really an attack on Kathleen Kennedy, and don't you see, and this is how they're gonna save face for getting rid of her, and like, I think, oh my god, and like the article had nothing to do with any of that.
Yep.
Like, the message of the article had nothing at all to do with that, because he didn't like the prequel movies either. The author, he cited it. Kathleen Kennedy's name was mentioned one time in the article.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and that's when you know, and the Luke Skywalker moment, the whole law and continuity don't matter as long as you get an emotional payoff. That's where this came from. Without respect, we accept.
Yes. Who made this? Is this?
I don't know who made it. I know I came up with it. I don't know. Somebody in the chat made it. It was either Daniel. Dan, was it you? I can't remember.
Daniel
it might have been Cell Shade.
Yeah, I mean, the phrase I think I was using at the time was without respect, we consume.
Yeah.
But same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't compartmentalize it. It doesn't work that way. The company doesn't work that way. It's not structured that way. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're buying Star Wars stuff. You're talking about Star Wars stuff. You're watching Star Wars stuff. That's all they really care about.
You're using a Star Wars themed strap on. I mean,
yeah, you're subscribed to Disney Plus. Like that that's what they care about. They like,
and then you get people like Fishface that if you fucking go against the grain and say, no, Doomcock's full of shit, Doomcock was wrong,
Holy
you get
shit.
banned and, completely, no. It's so funny. We get told that we're using SJW tactics and shit like that, but yet they're the ones that are doing all the banning. They're the ones that are doing all the attacking.
I love being called an SJW. I think that's hilarious. Like, yeah, okay.
What are you laughing at, Tim?
So, like, you guys are using the
breaking
SJW
news.
just the same way as the other side uses the word Nazi. It's just stupid. And it's just like,
did you guys?
You sound stupid when you try that too. Like it just.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about Gina Carano?
No, but before you say whatever you're going to say, let me just hit this from Riff. He says for $5, I got to hand it to you, Ryno. You were one of the few who were telling everyone how crap the Mandalorian really is, and not gushing all over it.
And literally gushing all over it.
Look, I understand. Can I just quickly point out? I understand why people got emotional in that moment. If you actually watch the moment, you hear, like I've said it before, you listen to the music, the emotional music that they put behind it, right? People have been wanting and been talking about how they destroyed Luke Skywalker for so long. Yes, this is the closest thing that they've done to giving us a decent Luke Skywalker compared to what we had, right? So I can understand that people might get emotional about it, but don't think that those emotions mean that what you're watching is actually fucking good, right?
Well, and then keep in mind the wider context.
That.
You can think in the moment something is emotional and worth it. Like, for example, Episode 7, right? You get Chewbacca and Han Solo board the Millennium Falcon, and Han says, like, we're home.
Yep.
And you get the music in the background. You saw that moment in the trailers. That's an emotional moment. That's like, cool. And you can be caught up in that emotion. But then when you think back about it, and it's like, yeah, but then they at the same moment or just a little bit later, they just absolutely burn Han Solo's legacy, like,
they
on
cut
screen,
him out,
right in front of you, and it's like, then it loses that moment. And with the Luke Skywalker moment, it's like, okay, he shows up and doesn't like, and he just leaves with the like, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah,
and then you think about like how that was inserted into the story, and then it's just like, that's a ripoff. That's it's shallow. There's no meaning there. It's just. It's empty.
And to follow up, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
To follow up on what Ryno was responding to Riff on, everyone on this panel was on Ryno's Mandalorian review streams the day the episodes came out, and we broke them down, and we all made videos on the Luke Skywalker moment. Itchy Baka made videos on that, and that's when I think he threw the towel, and he's like, if this is all it's going to take to make the what we've been fighting for over, then I'm out. Yeah. I made a video on it.
And Itchy Baka was one of the best of us.
Yeah. One of the hardest work.
And I'm pissed. I'm so pissed that he's gone based on, and I don't blame him. I felt like throwing in the towel. Ask Lethal. I honestly felt like throwing in the towel after the Luke Skywalker moment because I was exactly in the same boat. What the fuck are we fighting for? If this is all that we want, if this is all that they need, that's not what I want.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's a moment where I think a lot of people stopped and disassociated themselves with the whole fandom menace label.
Yep.
It's like, well, if that's what the group is fighting for, just this, then no. Like, we're on the same side in the sense that we we hate the sequel movies. Okay, but like, where do we go from here? Like, we're not on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
And I made
it doesn't mean we're
point
mortal enemies or anything necessarily, but it's just like,
absolutely,
that we're not fighting the same battle.
I feel sorry for the people that believe Doomcock. That's the truth of it. I feel like you've been sucked in, and every time he just says, "Oh, look, somebody's writing gullible in the sky," you're like, "Oh, where?" Where? But I like, as I said in my video, I feel like it's almost done in a malicious way for some God knows unknown reason. Is it just for the clicks? Is it just for the money on YouTube? Is it because he's got so big that he can pretty much do and say and make up whatever he wants that people are just going to watch it and believe it because of the hashtag Doomcock was right? No. Hashtag 4chan was right. Hashtag Doomcock just reported it.
I think he's in a corner. He's in a trap where that's like, I don't think he thinks that there's any way, any other direction to go, because that garnered so much attention that, like, where do you go from there?
Right.
Maybe he is a good guy, but
away from Star Wars. I can
sit here and say I'm a good guy, or people could say that I'm a good guy. I'm completely against what he's saying. Like, I just because somebody's a good guy doesn't mean that what they're doing isn't wrong.
Right.
Like I said, I was one of those people that watched Doomcock. I was, Greg, he was a top tier patron of Doomcocks for a long time. We thought that there was something good there, but then it started to completely change. The rumor mill became what was most important to him because that's what was getting him the clicks. And he had this whole thing about having sources and having agents and having insiders that he doesn't identify. And I'm not saying docs identify, I'm saying code name them and, actually give them some credibility so that we can see their credibility. But no, it's just take it with a grain of salt. So look,
and there's a way to do that where you can almost make it a fun game where you keep score.
Yeah,
make a little graphic with your like little caricatures of the code names and give them a % accuracy score and be like, pull it up, make that part of the shtick, right? At the very least, then it would give some. Something, some reference, some way where we could attempt to validate the accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
That'd
that you bring this. It's funny that you bring this up, Jordan, because you know what? Whether or not people like it or not, the reason why there was such a about it was because Ryan was right. Hashtag Ryan was right.
I just realized
because if you've been tracking it, right? Like, again, I haven't watched anything for ages, but I was watching for a fair while, right? And seeing what was actually being reported on, honestly laughing most of the time, going and then reading some of the people in the comments and going, you believe this? You okay. If you've been tracking it, the narrative and the goalposts change. Just like mainstream media, when they need to change the narrative or they need something to go their way, they change the rules on you.
Yeah.
And that means in this circumstances, where for months and months and months and months and months, it was confirmed by sources, it was confirmed by his agents. What do those confirmations mean? So when he comes out with another rumor, and that rumor came from the person that reported and confirmed that Kathleen Kennedy was still there, how do we know who that is? How do we know if that rumor has come from a person which has reported on a rumor that's true? Or how do we know that hasn't come from a person where it's not true? We don't. Because it's all this is why I say it's all made up. Man, why haven't we seen any interaction from Doomcock in 6 days, 7 days? His YouTube channel hasn't had a video. It's unheard of. Is he trying to sit there and form the narrative? Oh, fuck, where do I go now?
No, he's just busy. Come on, he's busy.
I don't know. It just seems bullshit to me. It all seems made up. I don't know.
I just realized that Tuscan Bob is also wearing shades, just like we are in his avatar.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically they're goggles, but you know.
You need to put the Thug Life glasses now just over the top of it. We need to just keep
that would be awesome.
adding new memes to the Tuscan Bob photo.
It'll be done by the end of the stream by someone.
Yeah.
There you go. Just,
Anyway,
you know,
look, I think
don't hide the needle though. That's an important aspect.
Yeah, that's sacrilege.
there the glasses have to go sort of over. Look,
Moses in the house.
G'day, Mozza. Hey. I think we've talked about this long enough.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, what were you going to report about Gina there for a second, Tim?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
We lost track of that.
Okay, so film updates and a bunch of other sources. Lawrence Fox and Gina Carano to star in Hunter Biden biopic, My Son Hunter, which follows the U.S. president's son and his scandalous business dealings and lifestyle. Fox will play Hunter Biden, while Carano will play a Secret Service agent.
How funny is that? The
Where is
Daily
that
Wire
coming
is
from?
making this movie, is it? It's like this come under the Daily
Is it
Wire.
the Daily
surely.
Wire?
Surely it's got to be, right?
No, it's some guy named Davi. Who do you know who that is, Greg? Davi?
No.
Davi
Open my
is his
laptop.
last name. I'm gonna watch that one.
Second.
You don't believe it?
No.
The source is Deadline.
Okay.
I
Put the link.
believe
Put the link to the article in the private chat.
It's not an article; it's a Twitter post. But I looked on Google, and yeah, there's some other links. Well, why don't we ask her? Let's go
Daily
to
Wire
her.
is making it, says Jordan.
Let me check Gina Carano's profile.
I love this. Says, what about?
And she does not follow me, and it makes me
Sad.
sad. Yeah, I don't follow her either, so whatever. Let's see.
You don't follow me, I'm over you.
No, she retweeted it. Robert Davi. Robert Davi says he's the director, whatever. Gina, in all caps, is luminescent. Her heart and spirit are immeasurable. There is not a more loving, positive human being. The whole crew in Belgrade felt her warmth and caring. Her screen presence reflects her spirit. So, yeah. I'm gonna watch that one. That's probably gonna be an interesting movie.
Interesting.
Biopic. It's probably going to be an uncomfortable movie if they make it right.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing.
Yeah.
Are
It's
we
gonna
gonna
be
go-
like cuties.
Yeah, or worse.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. We did talk about this last week. This week we are going to play the clip. I don't know if that's going to get me hit because I don't understand why this clip isn't yet on the Star Wars YouTube channel. It's on YouTube. This is through Star Wars Coffee. I'm not subscribed. But basically throughout this week, we've obviously had this confirmation that that Obi-Wan and Vader will be crossing blades. Now, there has been a lot of speculation about how this is actually going to go down, and I do want to talk about that, but let's watch this first. Have any of you guys seen this?
No.
No.
Greg? No? Okay.
No.
Cool. I hope I shared the audio. Actually, I need to turn before I do push play. Sorry, guys. Just turn that up. It's going to blow my eardrums
Now,
out.
what is this again? Is this an official trailer here?
Well,
or?
yeah, this is what the thing that was leaked that people kept
Okay.
like if people were showing it, it was getting taken down. So I don't know if the stream's going to get taken down at the end of the stream because I've played this. I have no idea. The only reason why I am playing it is because if Star Wars Coffee can play it and it not be banned worldwide, I believe it's been released It was released around.
Yeah,
Disney
your
Plus
channel
Day
is
or
now
something.
attack proof. You're good to go.
Cool. All right, ready, guys? Here we go.
There's a hunger for this character to come back.
Is that dialogue, right? Oh,
Fans
okay.
been waiting long enough, you know.
Something
Oh,
that's
yeah, I did
extremely
see this.
exciting is the return of obviously Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is quite a dark time that we're coming.
Was that like
just being a Jedi?
Was that like a still photo of footage, or was it like art?
No,
I couldn't
this
tell.
is all concept art.
Okay. Okay.
This is all concept art.
It's not safe. There's
Only
Jedi
I could see better.
there.
At least he has this one task left, which is to keep Luke safe.
That's definitely a starting place for our story. The interesting.
That's the bit that I brought up last week where he actually starts that dialogue by saying, you know, he's got one task left to look after Luke. And then it goes straight into her saying, this is a good starting point for our story. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Our story. The interesting thing is going to be where it goes from there.
Where it goes from there. Okay. So his whole task is to look after Luke and keep him safe until the time is right. And that should be all he does.
The most beautiful thing of all is that it's brought me back together with Hayden.
We are bringing back Hayden Christensen to reprise the role of Darth Vader. We couldn't tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi without addressing Anakin or Vader.
Okay,
So what story of Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
What story?
No, the thing that I find so funny, we couldn't tell a story about Obi-Wan without having Vader or Anakin.
The story, she said. Not a story,
why?
the story.
Why?
What story?
No. But why can't you tell Obi-Wan's story without Anakin or Vader having an appearance?
Well,
Like-
she misspoke. She meant they can't market
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
I just want you to hear that again, guys.
I mean, no, just replace tell with market, and there you have it. That's the reason.
And he's not really reprising his role as Vader because I know he was in the suit for a very small time at the end of Revenge of the Sith, but I don't know.
For like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen to reprise the role of Darth Vader. We couldn't tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi without addressing Anakin or Vader.
Is this the same guy that did the choreography for the Last Jedi? I wonder.
Oh, Nick Gilliard?
Now, I want to... before
Oh,
we
no. That was the prequel guy. Sorry.
Before we continue listening and finishing this off, this is obviously the picture, the concept art. Now, there's been a lot of talk and speculation, and I think this is what people want it to be because it's the only way that it can actually make sense to some degree within canon and continuity, is that it's basically a dream. This is a dream sequence that Obi-Wan is having. It looks like it could be on Mustafar. Now, again, when he fought Vader on Mustafar, he wasn't in the suit yet, right? So maybe people are like, oh, how can he know that he was more machine than man? I just want to quickly touch on that and say there is like news, there is like TV in the Star Wars universe, and Vader has been seen by Obi-Wan on that TV.
Yeah,
in the Star
Vader
Wars
is not
universe.
some like shadow assassin character.
That's right.
He's
Vader is very well known within the universe.
He's infamous.
Right? So take that part out of your fucking head, right? Oh, how could he know that he was in the suit by A New Hope? Anyway.
Retards.
You fucking idiots. They just don't think past their fucking eyelids. Now, this looks like it could be on Mustafar, correct? It clearly looks like it could be on Mustafar.
Looks like it, yeah.
So, yes, he could be having a dream that he's fighting Vader on Mustafar, but now Vader's in the suit. There could very well be that. I've heard that Star Wars girl was saying maybe he's in deep meditation and Vader's in deep meditation, and they end up having, they've introduced Force Skyping and Force battling through the Force and all of this kind of stuff, right? Force
Oh,
Skype
if they do
call,
that would be
right?
hilarious.
But
Please
no,
do
no,
that
she's
with
not
this film.
necessarily saying do it as a forced Skype call. But what she's saying is if they're both in this really deep meditative state and they just both think that they're actually having a dream and it's just a memory or something like that, and they don't know that they're actually having this connection, right? Maybe. Like, this is the thing. Vader cannot know explicitly that Obi-Wan is alive.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this is going to be. They've definitely confirmed that they're crossing blades again. And the way that it's being marketed and told to us is rematch of the century. You don't have a rematch of the century in a dream sequence.
Now, how many episodes is this supposed to be? Six, right? Here's something they could do. They could do like this first confrontation early, and where Vader thinks Obi-Wan's alive, and then have a later confrontation where Vader believes that he's vanquished Obi-Wan somehow. But Obi-Wan escapes. But again,
no, it still takes away from the conversation between Tarkin and Vader in A New Hope.
Don't care about.
Yeah,
that.
I know.
I don't think they give it. All they need to do is like, well, it's plausible.
Yeah.
And like, yes, it absolutely takes away from the meaning and the substance of that final confrontation between the two, but they don't care about undercutting that. Why would they?
This is the thing about that, Soul Assassin. You're absolutely right. But in saying that, Disney's put an entire Imperial occupation on Tatooine. That was never, ever a thing. The only reason why we ever saw stormtroopers on Tatooine was because they were looking for the droids in A New Hope. They actually got sent down there. It was controlled by the Hutts. And Palpatine was happy to have Tatooine be corrupted by the Hutts and just have that evil
because
empire within itself.
Tatooine is the way it is because it holds no valuable resources and no strategic value.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an area that the Empire or a planet or a system that the Empire would give two shits about. Like, so they would be very happy to leave it under the control of a third party that they can influence when necessary and manipulate when necessary, but then don't have to commit their own resources to occupying or controlling in any ways. Essentially the Hutts operated as like a puppet state of the Empire, which strategically would make a lot of sense. Like,
yeah,
it's a territory of, but we don't want to be invested. We don't want to spend any money or any resources or any troops here. Like, we're trying to hunt down the rebellion.
And it's isolated in the Outer Rim, so who really fucking cares, right?
Right.
It's not
like
it
has no valuable natural resources. I mean, they farm fucking water, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Like, this is a shithole planet.
Now,
originally,
this is the thing too, though. You got to remember, not only are we going to have the rematch of the century, we're also going to have Leia in this series. Think about it. 6 episodes. They're going to have Leia. We're probably going to have Ahsoka. I wouldn't doubt them bringing in Ahsoka. And we're going to have this rematch of the century. Now, I feel like there's going to be an interaction between Leia and Obi-Wan that's going to break lore and canon and continuity just as much as this rematch. But this is the distraction. This is the Luke Skywalker moment of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Oh, yeah, and this is the formula. And
I'm just saying, there's going to be so much other law breaking and continuity issues.
Yeah,
but it's all going to be who cares because I got the fight I wanted to see.
They paid close. They saw the reaction to Chapter 16 of The Mandalorian. They know they know that they can just duplicate this.
It's John and Dave, right?
They can. Well, no, this Obi-Wan's not John and Dave at all.
Well, it's a offshoot of John and Dave, right? It's Deborah Chow, who did 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
As a director, I mean, Robert Rodriguez. I wouldn't say it's like this. It's an offshoot of what the hell's that vampire movie or any of his horror movies. Like, just because the director's the same, that don't mean shit. I mean, maybe that's how they'll try and compartmentalize it and make it like, I think it's great. It'd be like, oh, the Kennedy must not have had anything to do with this one because I like it. I fully expect that if people like this show, then that's what they're going to do. I think the real question is, because we know this one about this one, the real good speculation is what's going to be the Luke Skywalker moment in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Han Solo.
Is it going to be Han or Lando?
Han.
I reckon it's going to be Lando because they've got a Lando series, so they need the Lando cameo to be the.
When did they bring in Han though? Which show did they bring in Han?
No, they won't because Han's dead, and they don't. And they.
Huh?
That. What I'm saying is Han. That they can't bring back Harrison. They've done the Solo movie, I know, but obviously that's been shit. They're not. I don't think Han Solo's coming in.
Well, I think it's Lando. Would the actor who played Solo even want to come back to the role?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, maybe because if he's not doing much else, then
maybe
could potentially be redemption. But
he's wearing the glasses. I was wearing mine earlier when we were talking a little bit about the Doomcock stuff and the rumors and everything because it was our what's it called?
Who's Tom?
It was our Thug Life moment. He meant to say Tim.
Oh,
there's no Tom here.
It could be Han in the sense though, because this is all taking place. That show takes place around the same time period as The Mandalorian, which is 9/10 ABY. So
BBY, right? Oh no, you're right. ABY.
Oh no, you know who it's going to be? You know who the Luke Skywalker moment is going to be? It's going to be Thrawn.
No, I think they're going to save that for Ahsoka. They're going to save that for Ahsoka. No, I think it could be Han, or it could be Lando, because they could try and tie Lando into searching for Exegol, and Book of Boba Fett leads them to that one planet that they visit. You know that's got the Burning Man celebration going on.
Yeah, and the quicksand with tunnels underneath.
With the quicksand, so they could tie it there. They could do Han, because at this point is Han separated from Leia, and back to the
not separated. He just is working halfway across the galaxy, you know, because a healthy marriage features that kind of dynamic.
Right, and he could be
maybe
going
we'll
back
get
to
to see a young
roots
Ben or a young Rey. Maybe we'll get to see a young Ben or a young Rey.
You could have baby. We're
gonna have babysitters in space. Fucking Boba Fett's gonna be the one that's gonna drop Rey off at the fucking thing.
No, that was established to be that other guy, the Uchi or whatever.
Oh, Uchi.
Or no, it was her parents dropped them off while Uchi was pursuing.
Oh, hunting them. That's right.
Yeah. So that's got to be.
Rey wasn't born. Right? Really? In the Book of Boba Fett,
Rey was born after Kylo Ren. Rey's a couple years younger.
The Book of Boba Fett takes place
15. Because you got to think the sequels take place in 35 ABY. So 10 ABY is only 15. 20, would it be 25?
Rey was born 15 ABY. So when does the Mandalorian take place? 5 years
Laura is the Disney Star Wars lore keeper.
She's just the Star Wars lore keeper.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, guys, I got to call it. Thanks, Menalong, for coming by. Appreciate you. You be safe too, buddy.
So you could have toddler Ben.
Maybe. No, you know, they've got to bring a child into everything. We've had Omega, who's going to be force sensitive. We've had Baby Yoda. In this, we're going to have Baby Leia, and then in the Book of Boba Fett, it's either going to be Baby Ben or maybe Fennec Shan and Boba Fett. And they have a child. They actually have a genuine, legitimate child. Maybe. Let's finish watching this real quick because I don't think there's much left.
The child is Poe Dameron.
Swing at each other might be quite satisfying for everybody. We hope that you enjoy it as much as we enjoy making it.
So that's pretty much it.
I don't get the big deal about bringing Hayden back if he's going to be in the Vader costume.
Yeah, I know.
Like I guess
It's the keys, man.
Viewers,
it's the keys. They need the
viewers
keys.
will
so
know
that
in their head that that's him potentially in the suit and not a stuntman. But like,
he'll take his helmet off and they'll use the Force Unleashed to justify it. Remember, how it had that one duel where he doesn't have his helmet on.
Right.
Golly.
Now, I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I did put a poll out about this fight. Is the Obi-Wan versus Vader rematch in the Kenobi show destructive to lore and lore continuity and the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, I think that's plain to see. I also did a poll on...
I voted no on that poll.
Why? Why is it not?
Because under Disney, there is no such thing as lore and continuity.
Well, that's a fair call. That's a fair call. If you're looking at it from George's canon, though, it definitely is. And this is where, like, I put that out, and then I started hearing people about the visions or the dream sequences or the meditation sequences and stuff like that. Now, under any circumstances, if let's say Obi-Wan's sitting there and he goes into a meditative state and he does have a vision like this, and that's what they're reporting as the rematch of the century, really? Like, what are we watching? Are we watching the Mustafar fight, but this time Anakin is actually in the Vader suit? I don't know. Are we really going? Because again, if Obi-Wan's sitting there and he's meditating and he's having a vision of the fight that he had with Vader or Anakin, what is that fight? It's the Revenge of the
what's
Sith
going to
fight.
happen.
Yeah,
they're gonna have like the Skype call situation through the Force, and Obi-Wan is gonna realize what's going on before Anakin, and Obi-Wan's gonna be like, "This is really cool. I'm gonna troll Anakin," and Obi-Wan's gonna pretend that he's giving like blowjob instructions to Padme, and that's gonna enrage, and that's gonna enrage Vader, and that'll instigate the fight.
She's talking him off.
Well, there you go.
We're gonna sign up for that.
He's gonna grin and like stroke his beard like he's like the master troll.
Funny as. I did like how many votes this poll got. It was 642. That was pretty awesome. But yes, I think it's clear that most people do think that if they do have an actual rematch, it is breaking law and continuity. I will use this as evidence when it actually happens and I get called an EU elitist. I'll just go, look, check this out.
I got another line. I'm sorry, I got another line.
Yep.
Obi-Wan, forget the other thing. They match, and Obi-Wan's gonna say to Vader, like he's gonna ask Anakin, like, do you know how I know that Padme was pregnant with your kids? And Vader's gonna be like, no, why? And he's gonna say, because I pulled out.
Baseball swing, yeah.
There you go.
There you go. I just lost my page. Sorry, I need to try and find something. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'd like to do the chance to do either or.
Yeah.
Pull out or not pull out.
Yeah.
Maybe knock some sense into her dumbass.
I wouldn't say no.
Mm-mm. You ever seen that movie about living on the island? Sorry, Ryno.
That's right.
and it shows her butt. It's a good movie.
G'day, Mr. Grant Gregory. We've had him on the Full Aussie a couple of times. Good dude. Good dude. Go and check out his channel. All right. I lost the page that I originally wanted. But I'll just use this. So we had this week, we also had the Disney Plus Day. Did you guys see what came from Disney Plus Day? Either of you? Greg, Tim?
No.
Why do you ask us these things when you know the answer?
Because the audience doesn't know the answer.
They know the answer.
They know. They know. Elite. We are elite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Okay. So we had this week. We had Disney Plus Day. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was sounded like it was really disappointing, and basically, based on what I'd seen, it was really disappointing. I don't think there was anything that came out from Star Wars. It was all seemed to be a Marvel thing. It should have just been called MCU Day. I think. I don't know if there was any movies for it or whatever. But the thing that I did notice that I thought was really interesting was that they came out with a trailer for Moon Knight. They came out with a little trailer or something for She-Hulk and a few of the other ones as well. Not one of those is on the Disney Plus YouTube channel. Not one of those is on the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel.
Does anyone know where they are?
They are on there, but like this was the top result for me was what's that? Screen Culture with the Moon Knight trailer.
Maybe they're trying to make sure that the dislike thing is disabled first.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm laughing, but you're probably right.
Let's watch this Moon Knight trailer, shall we?
And Moon Knight, really quick, is like one of those cult characters that, you know, a lot back in the 90s, like if you were trying to be like an edgelord, like, oh, I only like Moon Knight and X-Men, you know, you didn't like the mainstream comics or whatever. Moon Knight was one of those titles
ones because you're too cool to like.
I only read the old Moon Knight stuff. Yeah.
Well, let me just quickly say,
comic snob.
Comic snob.
My sources have actually confirmed that she's already on her way out and that she will be fired in 2024. Just letting you all know now. Okay, let's watch this.
Don't predict she'll die.
I was the best in what I did.
Dramatic flashlights.
No one got hurt.
More dramatic lights.
Until I discovered something I was never meant to see.
Basketball?
On the came
You never meant to see basketball?
Now, I'm coming for them.
Where's all trailer music?
What?
It's got to have that.
Hey.
Like, all trailer music is alike now. It's got to have like that one like high or loud note where the music is going and then
yeah. Hey, back up about 1 second, maybe 2. Hit play and then get ready to hit pause. Hit pause. Is that Jock Nerdy right there?
Jock Nerdy, is there something you're not telling us, man?
Congratulations on your role.
He's in California.
Congrats. It actually, now you mentioned it, it really fucking does. That is actually funny.
Someone meme that shit.
I think if you zoom in, you can see that he's raising his gun.
Oh, yeah. Self-defense.
There he is. He's saying, is that me? Oh, boy. Oh no, not him.
Oscar Isaac.
I still don't know what the fuck this is.
Childish stories.
Me either.
Shang-Chi Part 2.
You're supposed to kill me and give me a pep talk.
Oh, Jeremy Renner.
Oh,
Wait,
this
hold
gonna be
on.
that-
Stop. That has to be Hawkeye because he's
Correct.
okay.
All right. How far into this trailer are we? Out of how many
A
minutes?
minute and 30
A
seconds.
minute,
20
20
seconds.
seconds out of 2 minutes. Well, the 2 minutes is actually is only another
30,
minute 40.
20 seconds to go, and I just realized what the trailer's even for. Good trailer, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. We'll finish
This
it
makes
off.
about as much sense.
I, the moon's knight of vengeance, must carry out your luminous will.
What is this?
And now, foul demon, face the vengeance of the Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Okay.
Is that? Hang on.
It's gonna be a
Don't forget
stinger.
to like and subscribe.
Oh
No.
no, we didn't. Need
It
to see
looked
that.
like a TNT original TV series.
Yeah.
No.
With
No.
with music that was way too try hard for the material that was on. That was just garbage.
Trey, I think it's a fake trailer.
It's not a fake trailer. It actually was released on the thing.
Ryno got hit with another fake trailer.
Yeah.
What was the other one that you got caught on? What was that one?
I'm trying to remember now.
Was it Doctor Strange?
No, I don't think it was Doctor Strange.
I remember there being one, and
There was one.
but I
No, it
don't
was the
remember what it
Spider-Man one.
Okay.
It's the Spider-Man one. I'm like, oh, this one's got Toby and fucking Andrew Garfield in it. That's right.
Yeah, it was some fan cut together thing.
Yeah. This was the She-Hulk one. We got 21 seconds for She-Hulk. Stop laughing at me, guys. It hurts my feelings.
Sorry.
Fucking assholes.
That one tickled me.
Hey, Ryno, we're not laughing with you. We're laughing at you.
I know, and that's what hurts so much.
This one's only 21 seconds?
Normal
Yep.
lawyer.
She's a normal lawyer.
Well, not that normal.
Damn.
Transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Boo.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That's it.
Do you like how they do it like in pronoun style, like she/Hulk?
Well, it is She-Hulk, though. It's always been She-Hulk.
No, but like it's pronouns.
she/Hulk,
She/Hulk. Yeah.
I don't really care. Hey, look
Damn.
at that booty. At least they've given her a figure.
Look at how terrible Hulk looks, though.
Yeah. Ugh. What a terrible Hulk.
Played by a terrible person. So, I mean,
Yes.
Makes sense.
Was there any other trailers from that? Like, I honestly didn't really pay too much attention to this Disney Plus thing. I saw this one and I saw the Moon Knight one. And I think the Moon Knight one was the one that got the most amount of praise or anything. And honestly, I watched that trailer and the music is what's designed to hype you up in that trailer. There's nothing. It's like Greg said. There's nothing about what this actual character's about.
It was just
about
gobbledygook. It was
yeah.
It was just.
You don't
it was
even
just
see Moon
weird
Knight.
cuts with like. Bang,
Yeah, and the whole purpose was just to have Hawkeye. Oh, I'm gonna watch that because Hawkeye's in it.
Well, see, and I think this trailer they should have left actual Hulk out of it because I think, like, when I saw She-Hulk, she didn't look too bad.
No.
It wasn't like the
Dead
comic
ass.
She-Hulk. What they're doing with the comic She-Hulk. I mean, like,
Yeah. But that was pretty much Disney Plus Day. It was very underwhelming for a lot of people that are still hyped up for Marvel.
Did they advertise anything that wasn't Marvel?
I don't know. I don't think so. Does anyone in the
it's something
chat know if
Disney-
they did? because
This
it's
is got a
definitely
problem. They got nowhere to go except for Marvel and Star Wars, and
yeah,
like,
and
ugh.
both of them are actually, if
They're on the
anything
decline.
if anything out of those two had a chance, it was Marvel, but not anymore.
Oh, they're both on, as far as brand properties, they're both on a sharp decline.
Yeah, they're
Big
sitting on a
time.
knife's edge.
Well, actually, like Star Wars might actually be on a minor incline, but like that's after
False narratives
3
of civil
years.
wars.
Well, it's 3 years of a nosedive, and
Mm.
then it's like slightly inclined in value from its very rock bottom.
Yep.
Blake is saying that they did a teaser for the Willow production that they announced last year.
Okay. That's a Lucasfilm thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, Willow's a Lucasfilm movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Could you show the panel?
Lucasfilm movies. I love Willow.
Could you show the panel of the other shit that they announced? They didn't have trailers for apparently.
That was the picture that I had up before that it somehow just disappeared on me. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me.
Okay. He was saying it was only behind the scenes stuff, but I don't want to see it. I never saw the original Willow, so.
Oh, I actually like Willow.
I need to see it eventually somehow.
If you like Willow feels a lot like the Ewok movies.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
And I think it's one of my favorite musical scores of all time. Is that movie?
Did John Williams do it?
No, I think it was Shore. I think did that one.
Okay. Oh yeah, Howard Shore.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's X-Men 97, which is apparently supposed to be a continuation of the
And Wokification. Yeah.
Yep. You've got Echo. I don't know
No,
what
it's
that
Horner.
is. I don't
It's
know
James
what
Horner.
Echo is. I think there was a trailer for Echo.
James Horner. Okay.
Let's have a look. Let's see.
What's Echo?
I don't
I'm
know.
not
Let's have a quick look.
not familiar with that. Echo Base Network. All right.
What are we
Okay,
looking
we're not
for?
watching any of those. I just wanted
Echo.
to see if there was like a trailer that they released for this Echo thing. No, that's not where I
Female
wanted to
Bullseye
go.
is what Blake says. I know a lot of Marvel. I'm not familiar with that character.
Where did the fucking thing go? Oh, there. Echo, you've got Spider-Man freshman year.
Is that like a cartoon or something? Or
I don't know. You got Agatha, House of Harkness.
okay.
You got Marvel
that's
Zombies, which is from the What If series when all the Avengers ended up being zombies. I don't understand why that would become a series. You got She-Hulk.
Everything on here is literally Marvel Studios, though.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down? Is there anything else or no?
No,
that it?
that's it. That's it.
That's
Then you
all.
got Miss.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Miss Marvel. You've got Moon Knight. You've got What If Season 2. This is another one that got a bit of thing. Ironheart. I Am Groot. And Secret Invasion.
Invasion. Is the Secret Invasion an
Invasion,
animated
sorry.
series or?
I don't know, but they better that's secret. Where's my thing?
If done right, that could be a good story. But again, it's Disney, so I doubt it will
Well,
be.
the Secret Invasion is that's an actual proper story. Like I know they all are characters and everything, except for this one. I don't know.
Do you know what Secret Invasion is, Greg?
No.
So it's basically this cabal of like the top guys in Marvel, like Mr. Fantastic and Professor X and Iron Man and a bunch of others. They get together and say, we're sick and tired of the Skrulls invading Earth. We are going to take it to them. And it's a pretty cool storyline. And it's not like a classic storyline. I think it's from like the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be, if executed properly, it could be a cool story, even if it's animated. But this X-Men 97 is going to be garbage. And quite frankly, I talked about this a little bit on my Alternative Factory Live a few weeks ago when I just randomly went live and I recommended the X-Men animated series. Toward the end of that series, it got kind of bad. It wasn't as good as the early season. So I guess this is really a direct continuation because it'll only get worse from that last season. So
oh wow, so it'll be like Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah, and it was already bad, right? So good analogy.
Wow. Clone Wars Minute 1 was bad in my book. So
yeah, and Cecil Ruxpin with the Captain Marvel reference there, Secret Invasion.
That's what I was thinking.
Work. Yeah, now the Skrulls are the good guys. All the bad guys are the good guys because they're sympathetic. So, Soul Assassin says X-Men 97 gonna have modern politics in the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like, MTV should have done more than what they did in the 90s, right?
Well, I mean, political correctness was taking off in the 90s.
Right? It was. You're right.
So, I mean,
I do.
Tim, did you ever get a chance to watch that PCU movie?
No. You need to send me a reminder.
I know.
That's the one with Jon Favreau, right?
Oh,
yeah, there it
damn
is.
It. You just spoiled the whole video.
Sorry.
Oh, did I? Oh, did he? Yeah. With the X-Men stuff, like I've been saying for ages, ever since Disney took it over, I've been really worried about it. Really worried that they're I mean, look at what they're doing to the MCU right now. Look at what's storytelling and the creativeness. Yeah. But the storytelling and the creativeness and everything is just, it's just not there. I don't know. And they keep trying to adapt these stories, but they're not really doing a good job because they're putting real world politics or whatever into it.
And they're not very good at telling
they're trying
stories
to quote unquote modernize while adapting, and that just doesn't work.
Yep. Correct. All right. So yeah, Marvel is pretty shit at the moment. I do find it funny though that for Disney Plus Day, it was all Marvel stuff, pretty much. And it was really underwhelming for a lot of people. Anyway.
See, for me, like I don't get it. Like if I'm Disney, if I'm in charge of Disney, I'm going to my executive team and I'm going like, look, guys, like we got to do something other than Marvel and Star Wars. Like we're Disney, for fuck's sake. We bought these properties less than like 20 years ago. What did we do as a company before that?
When we were actually making money.
Well, and like, can we start appealing back to our core audience? Like, if we're gonna do a TV series, can we do like an animated Lion King movie? Can we go back and pull like I said last stream, like a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, or can we bring back some of these other things, or can we develop a new movie that leads into a sequel that's on the platform? Now, like my ideal project would be to have an animated movie whose direct sequel and implied sequel, not just, hey, we're going to do it again, but like it has like a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the movie is boom, like put it out in the movie theaters, have your song and dance and everything. Like I would have done this with Frozen, right? Frozen 2 should have led into a Frozen TV show where the story continues, and it's like you put it out in theaters, it makes its money, you release it on Disney Plus, and then like a week later you premiere the new TV show,
the series, yeah,
and then you have it continue. Like hook kids into that shit. Like you guys, like you own ABC, like you own a whole network. You own all these cable channels. You own ESPN. Like why are you only able to produce Marvel and Star Wars? Like I understand they do have more in there, but like you can't. Well, I mean, anything that they bring back, they're going to have to do well, of course. But like, here's what I'm the executive. Is like, get me a new DuckTales, and when I see it, it better be like the original, or you're fired.
Yeah. What a great story.
Don't modernize it. Don't change anything.
But see, this is the thing, though, that I've been to with. I think we've all been talking about for a while, is that there is nothing new. They're having to, like, why do you think we get more Ghostbusters? Why do you think we get more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Creative freedom is creative bankruptcy.
I don't think we would have ever gotten another Ghostbusters if 2016 didn't leave such a bad taste. I really think the only reason that we're getting this Ghostbusters movie is because 2016 sucks so bad.
So this is 5 Brazilian reals. I know that from Tim. Thank you.
Very good.
From Timon. He says, fuck Moon Knight, fuck Hawkeye, fuck Doctor Strange, fuck whatever Marvel, fuck, they fucked up Spider-Man, fuck it all. There you have it. Thank you, Timon.
He's going to really like No Way Home or whatever the hell it's called.
I like the trailer, I'm sorry.
What's it called again?
No Way Home.
No Way Home, okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the 5 bones. Appreciate
you
that.
like the trailer because you're hooked on this. You saw the keys dangling and you're fucking hooked.
I know.
I thought it was...
Well,
I thought it...
Again, just going back to Ghostbusters really quickly, from what I'm hearing, like I said earlier, it's the last 20 minutes that people are really enjoying, and the other hour and a half, yeah, they could take it or leave it, really. It's like the movie revolves around this 20 minutes. It's kind of like with the Rogue...
Well, it's the 20 minutes that you're probably going to see the original cast.
Yeah, that's right. And they make it real emotional, and they make it really, like, heartfelt.
I thought it was about Iceman approaching him, and then he's like, no way, homo. But it's actually no way home, not way. Anyway.
Oh, it's the Silver Surfer. Okay, I saw that Soul Assassin was asking if we had spoken about the Dark Horse comics. And believe it or not, that is the next thing that we are going to be talking about.
It's on the slate.
So, let me go through this. Exclusive. Dark Horse Comics will once again be publishing Star Wars comic books with a new line of all ages comics and graphic novels arriving in 2022. Excuse me. These tales will be set in all eras of the saga, from the High Republic to the rise of the First Order. If you still think that they are decanonizing the sequel trilogy, if you still think they're going to use the Veil of the Force, or what it's actually called, the World Between Worlds, to decanonize, you've got to be joking yourself. Stop putting the blinders on. Fuck. We've got an article here from Screen Rant. And Tim is going to read it for us because he is the man.
Yes, thank you. New Star Wars all ages line. And again, this was with IDW, and we heard a rumor. I think I talked about it on the Spacing a couple months back, where they, the rumor was they lost it because the Marvel stuff was lost by IDW. So logical progression. In 2015, Marvel took over publishing Star Wars comics from Dark Horse. Now both will be publishing new adventures throughout the timeline by Samantha Weewas Kangs. Let's see. Screen Rant is excited to exclusively announce that the Star Wars comic universe is expanding once again. Ooh, expanding. Did you hear that? as the franchise returns to Dark Horse Comics. New stories are coming from all eras of the galaxy, and while titles have not yet been provided, fans have a lot to be excited about. Instead of sacrificing beloved stories, fans will be getting a plethora of stories from all across the publishing world. Dark Horse Comics began publishing Star Wars comics in 1991. However, a few years after the Walt Disney Company's acquisition of Lucasfilm, Marvel acquired the publishing license for Star Wars comics. This 2014 announcement, which took effect in 2015, took Star Wars comics back home, as Marvel was the first comic publisher for the franchise back in 1977. Now, Dark Horse will have its own welcoming home, sharing the ability to publish new Star Wars stories alongside Marvel Comics, which IDW formerly shared to help kick off the High Republic era. Yeah, because that was so great. Dark Horse Comics, in collaboration with Lucasfilm and Disney Worldwide Publishing, is announcing a new line of all ages comics and graphic novels. What this really means is it's kids that are like 5 and then like weirdos that are 50. Everyone in between doesn't want to read this shit. The line, or this line, will expand. Did you see that keyword again? The Star Wars galaxy beginning in spring 2022. It will include adventures set in the High Republic, as well as the rise of the First Order and eras in between. This announcement is rather unexpected, but will likely be welcome among fans. This article is from yesterday, last night, whatever, and this morning, and it's again, there have been rumors of this, so it's not unexpected.
I find it funny that we had the High Republic, and we had this High Republic series of books and comics and whatever announced, and there's been no hype. I don't know how many people have read them. I haven't seen anyone that's reviewed it, really. I've heard a few people say, oh yeah, this is decent, this is all right, this is good. But I haven't seen anything. I really feel like this is their way of going, oh, well, we failed with the High Republic. So what we've come out with in the High Republic, let's use Dark Horse to actually connect our High Republic to the prequels, OT, and sequels. And we'll write these stories. This is the way that we're going to go with the publishing now.
Yeah.
It's insane. And again, it just brings me back to, like, do people still believe that they're wanting to turn the corner after the sequel trilogy? This tells me that they're doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, however many times they're downing that. They're just going full force. Kennedy
This
burst.
tells me that they're throwing shit against the wall, looking for something to stick.
Yeah.
Because like
Literally
the High
shit.
Republic and these comic books, I mean, let's be real. These artists and writers aren't getting paid shit.
Yep.
And this is just cheap. This is just a cheap way to brainstorm plot and storylines. The problem that they're going to have, is like none of this is going to be cohesive.
The funny thing is like
none of it's going to tie together fluidly. It's going to contradict. It's going to be like this whole notion that under the Disney Lucasfilm banner, Star Wars is going to be this. It's going to have this wonderful synergy, right? You got to use corporate buzzwords. Synergy. Between all the levels of publication. Like it's an absolute joke. I mean, we already know that it's not with what they've produced so far. But now you're going to tell me like, okay, so Dark Horse is going to do a comic book that takes place and has something to do with the First Order. Is that going to box Favreau and Filoni in on what they can do in The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka?
they don't really care because they've already fucked up from Star Wars books.
Right.
You look at the Mandalorian, the consistency's already not there.
It's going to get infinitely worse because now they're just throwing shit. Again, this is a desperation. Like let's throw a bunch of shit out there, and if any of it resonates, we'll go with that. Because
I just
as far as I can tell, like,
sorry,
Ahsoka hasn't been written yet, right? I mean, they have a general idea where they want to go, but like, how are they gonna pull all this stuff together with all these, like, who's running the continuity ship, the story group?
Yeah, right.
As I said, like, Star Wars is never going to be saved under the Disney banner because they're just not capable.
I mean, let me point something out to everyone. Ever since the failure of the sequel trilogy, even during the sequel trilogy, there was dialogue and stuff that broke the fourth wall. It was like they're talking directly to the audience, right? But every decision that they've made now, they think they're making based on this is what the fans want. Like, you know, Dark Horse was praised back when it was under proper Lucasfilm for its stories and its comics. And, you know, I'm sure there was some out there that people didn't like. But more often than not, I think Dark Horse was a pretty praised publication to be doing Star Wars stuff. Now they're bringing it back. It's like, oh, look, guys, we're correcting our errors. But they're not changing any of the storytelling to do any of that.
No.
They're not changing anything from what they did with the sequel trilogy. And the proof of that is in The Mandalorian. The proof of that is in this announcement. The proof of that is in the rematch of the century announcement. The proof of that is changing Boba Fett's ship's name from Slave One to Fire Spray. Because people might get offended.
Well,
yeah,
it goes further than that. I mean, this again is just like, oh, we're going to put it under Dark Horse, and people like Dark Horse, right? Well, okay. How many people that worked on Star Wars back then for Dark Horse are going to be involved in this particular project now?
Probably none.
Probably not a single person. So this idea is like, oh, it's going to be under Dark Horse, it's going to be good again. Why? If none of the people that were working for Dark Horse then are working for Dark Horse now, like, you think what the company name makes it better? That's meaningless.
Yeah.
And again, the issue, like, if you liked it back then, is it because maybe there was some, like, overlying control, quality control, storyline control? You think do you think that exists now?
No.
Or is it just, are you banking on the fact
Pablo
that
Hidalgo and
the
Matt
company's
Martin
name happens to be the same? Like, that's just stupid.
I don't know.
Okay,
we'll have
the
to wait and
company's name
see
is the
what
same.
the stories are that come out here. But again, if they're going from the High Republic to the First Order, I find it so funny too. The two things that they've mentioned, the two things that they've actually mentioned in there are things that they've created and bullshit things that they've created. It's going from the High Republic to the Rise of the First Order. That's all they mention. Disney shit. Anyway.
It's like, I understand if people like the old Dark Horse comics. Like, I get it, but there's no evidence, at least that I can see, that suggests that, like, because it's with the same company name, it's somehow going to be good.
It's going to be good. Yeah.
When if all the talent that was behind it is no longer working there, and chances are that is the case, and the quality control is not there, and the continuity control is not there, like, why would it be good? How could it be good?
Just because it's the brand Dark Horse doesn't mean that it's going to be good.
Well, it's just like saying, well, because it's labeled Star Wars, it's going to be good, right? Because episode 4, 5, and 6 are good, and it said those said Star Wars on it, so this says Star Wars, it must be good.
Hey, and that's not to say that they could do something that ends up being good. They could. We don't know. But do we think that that's going to happen? Fuck no.
No.
Do we think that they're going? No fucking chance that they even care about continuity or lore or keeping anything.
I don't think they have it. I don't think they have any sort of outline as to how. I mean, they tried, and it failed. Aftermath to connect the two trilogies together somehow, and it's been a failure. It doesn't make sense. It's not satisfying. Because in order to understand like how the world got to the way it was in episode 7, all the heroes in episode 6 have to turn to shit and do a shitty job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Mon Mothma's got to be a terrible leader. Leia's got to be a terrible leader. Han's got to be a terrible leader. Luke has to be a terrible leader. Lando has to be a terrible leader. Because if they're not terrible, how could they let the First Order rise again and the galaxy be in the state that we see it in episode 7?
Yeah.
Without explaining some external threat.
How can all of those guys allow the galaxy to be in the state it's in The Mandalorian? Don't even go so far as the sequels.
Right. Well, like if they limit everything in The Mandalorian to the Outer Rim,
cool.
You have some plausibility there. And it's just the Republic is not strong enough yet to exert influence over that. But they couldn't, for 16 episodes that average maybe 40 minutes each. Maybe.
Not even.
Not
on average. No.
Not on average. It's average like 28 minutes probably each.
Probably, certainly if you trim out the credits and the opening
fucking
number. But there's no way to make that work.
Yeah.
Okay, so like 28 minutes each of episodes of The Mandalorian, and they couldn't stay out of the main storyline for 16 episodes. They had to put a Force user, Baby Yoda, into it. They had to pull Luke into it. They had to pull Boba Fett into it. They had to pull Bo-Katan into it. They had to pull Ahsoka into it. They had to pull the Darksaber into it. Like they couldn't even do it for 16 short episodes.
And then in amongst those 16 short episodes, you think about episode 1 of season 2 of The Mandalorian. It completely contradicts a novel that they wrote about how that guy got Bulba's armor.
Yeah.
Right.
Complete contradiction.
16 episodes, and we've been to Tatooine like 4 times.
Yeah. Or all the other planets look like
or lava, and then if you count Lava Tatooine, Navarro, like half the episodes.
Yeah. Craziness. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Dark Horse, they've got the licensing back. We'll see what they. I don't see too many people really getting into a lot of this stuff because, I mean,
it's all ages stuff.
Well, no, I look at it like this, right? I love Star Wars, and I never really started reading the EU, as you all know. I've only sort of just started really diving into the EU more recently. So there's those people out there that, yes, they love it, but they're just going to consume what they can see. They're not going to go through and actually consume any of this stuff. The people that were interested in anything that comes out like this, books, comic books, anything like that, were the people that loved the EU. The people that love the EU aren't going out and buying any of this shit.
Audience right there for the non-TV, non-movie audience.
Yeah.
You burned them.
Yeah. So the audience or the customers, the consumers that you had that you're trying to market this to, you've already isolated most of them. yes, you are going to have some of your Raylos and some of
Ran
those
them off is
people
what you
that
did.
do love your Disney Star Wars stuff that are going to go out and buy this, but the percentages just aren't there in comparison to what it could have been. You know, I can guarantee you, if they were to release a book, right, that continued the actual expanded universe, completed a story or something like that, and it was written by, let's say, a well-known Star Wars writer, maybe not actually, because if we look at what happened to Timothy Zahn, then
I think if they were to try and really and say like, hey, we're going to try and do both at the same time, and I know there's a lot of EU people out there that want that. They bought the billboards
there's a lot that
and everything
don't.
like that. I don't trust. Like, why should you trust them to
But that's why a
actually
lot
like
don't.
live up to it?
Exactly. That's why, like, people like Alora, I know Alora, she would probably love more expanded universe, but she doesn't want it coming out of Disney.
Not at the price of quality.
Yeah.
Like, quality over quantity. Don't release another one. Like you don't release a traditional EU book if it's just to release a traditional EU book.
Yeah.
It's got to have. It's got to have quality and it's got to live up to the what came before in those series of books, and I don't think that they're capable talent wise of pulling that off.
No, they're not.
So
absolutely not.
The best thing that can happen to Star Wars, two things can save Star Wars. Lucasfilm or Disney sells it to somebody who's going to actually do well with it, which is extraordinarily unlikely. And the other way to save Star Wars is to kill it. To make it so nothing new gets produced. It's just finish. This is the end of the story. This is all there is to tell. Thank you and good night.
No Old Republic, no comics, no novels, no movies, no Disney Plus series, no action figures, nothing.
Just stop.
And that's why I disagree with Alex Starr here. Like, again, like, oh yay, we're letting someone else write EU novels in that continuity. Here's the problem. Like, number one, are these, even if you bring in the originals like Troy Denning and others whose politics are quite clear, are they going to feel emboldened to write their politics now, knowing who owns the franchise? Second, all you're doing is you're funding more of the bad stuff, because as soon as
John.
Yeah, as soon as they know that their own
to fund the other garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
so just reread the hundreds
doing
of books and comics that are already out there.
Well, they're already doing it. We've already had announced that they're
infrastructures-
going to. We've already had announced they're going to remake the Knights of the Old Republic video game. We've already had announced that they're going to be doing a Knights of the Old Republic movie. Now, yeah, they could honor what came before, but again, what makes me think that they're going to do that? They've got the High Republic. They need to have the Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic fit within the High Republic. So it's clear to me that they're not decanonizing their sequel trilogy. If anything, they're doubling down on that. So they need to change everything that came before. I mean, it's evident to me that they've already changed that the rule of two no longer means the rule of two.
Right.
It means two Sith to rule the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's imagine. Let's just assume that like these authors of the EU era could come back and wouldn't interject their own personal politics into them. There's the quality control and the continuity infrastructure that existed under Lucasfilm, under George Lucas. They're gone. They don't exist anymore. So who's going to tell the authors, no, you can't do that? No, you can't kill this character. No, you can't turn them gay. No, you can't. No, no, that's not a good idea.
No one.
That's
The person
not-
who's actually in charge of doing that will be, oh, that's a good idea. Make them gay. Actually, make him bi. That's even better.
Well, not even just the gay or the bi part. I mean, I just threw that in. But like, let's say they just come up with like a wacky idea. Like who's
like Geo the Rock?
Yeah, like making a rock and a Jedi
navigator
or something like that, or a navigator. Like, there's nobody going to be there to say like, no, don't do that. That's not in fitting. Like, that's not consistent or in keeping with what we've done before. And who's going to tell them like, no, you can't do that? That contradicts this other novel. That infrastructure is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. The way the EU unfolded, and I'm not an expert in the EU, so just take it with
a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. Take it from the novice that I am in it. But you remove like the EU didn't just happen by accident. It just, I mean, some of it did, and it worked out well. But like there was levels of control. There were people in place to monitor that and to make sure that things were consistent or got corrected if maybe there was a mistake made.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that in there, then continuity is whatever the latest author says it is.
Yeah.
And that's not continuity.
That's where your headcanon comes from, right, Matt Martin?
Yeah.
Martin, is that right?
Yeah, that's not continuity at all. That's just where the rules of the universe are just whatever the last author wrote. It's hard to build a world that way.
Yep.
Well, it's hard to build a world that people want to stay invested in that way. You can do it, but people aren't going to stay invested in it because nothing matters. And I think when it comes down to it, and that's why I think ultimately like all this multiverse stuff is going to ultimately fail, is because when you keep telling your customers that none of this shit matters, it no longer becomes must see or must consume. Like, who cares if I skip one? This one is just going to get undone in the next one anyway. Like, this one's skippable. Right. I don't have to see it. I don't have to see it to know what happens in the next movie.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well,
it'll all get undone.
It doesn't
anyway.
match up anyway.
Yeah, it'll all get undone or it won't match up anyway, so who gives a shit?
Yep. I don't think
that's
really
then why have an IP at all?
Yep.
Let me go to. I was going to talk about this. There's nothing really more to this article, is there?
No. This is pretty much it. Just bullshit, recapping what they've done and all that. And again, these are kiddie books. That's what they mean by all ages. Oh, that's my desktop. Sorry.
Why have you got a vagina on your desktop?
We need to do some anatomy studies, Ryno.
Holy shit! Like Ryno, you might actually be a virgin if that you thought that was a vagina.
No, no, it's. Anyway, okay. I mentioned this earlier. The Knights of the Old Republic. We had the announcement that they're remaking the game, and it does sound like it's a remake, not just a remaster. They then announced that the Patty Jenkins movie was delayed due to creative differences, and that's being replaced by the Knights of the Old Republic movie. I've seen this. Steph actually sent this to me, and this is from the Old Republic. It's checkmarked on Twitter. And we are happy to reveal the official key art for SWTOR, Legacy of the Sith.
Sounds like just an expansion to the video game.
Maybe. I don't know what's... I have a feeling it's got something to do with this, maybe. This character here and the haircut. But look, when it comes to like the haircuts and stuff like this, it's a good sign to think that it's probably going to be like wokeified or something. But you can still tell a good story. You can still write something really well, But again, does anyone have any faith that they can? I certainly don't.
See that little logo in the lower left?
Yeah.
Black circle with the yellow light. Yeah, highlight that. That
yes.
means it's gonna suck.
Yep. Anyway, I might do a quick video on that. I'm going to look into it a little bit more and hopefully try and get a little bit more information about it. But I just thought I'd show that.
An expansion or something.
I need to get like Ryan on or something to talk about it. Like because he loves this game, so he'll know what's going on with it. So there was that. Now, in, of course, classic Raging Ryno fashion, I thought, I'm pretty well known for doing poster reviews. So I thought, why not do a live poster review? I saw this. What's wrong, Greg?
Nothing. Yay, let's do it.
Oh, shit. I saw this. And this is the X-Men, I keep saying that, the Matrix poster. It's very similar to the other poster that I did a reaction to in regards to the fact that they haven't really filled the poster out. Like, tell me they couldn't make Neo so much bigger. Like, have his head to here and his feet down here and then expand it back. I don't know. But I had to just... Where is it? Oh, it's going to go to my fucking... Let me find it. I don't know why it did that, because it should have been right behind it. Why am I not surprised? Again, the blue hair and the...
Yeah.
I don't know. Is anyone looking forward to The Matrix?
No.
Again, it's just another one that they got to extend onto previous...
I could say I'm maybe mildly interested in the sense like this is going to be a train wreck and I kind of want to watch
how
it
are they going to
burn.
tell this story?
I have no expectation that it's going to be a good story, but I mean, can we zoom in on Pando Morpheus?
I don't know if I can here. No.
What the fuck? It's like super gay discount Morpheus. Is Lawrence Fishburne like such an in-demand actor that you couldn't find a way to bring him back?
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, you brought back Neo, you brought back Trinity.
Well, he's in the goddamn John Wick movies with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Because the pull characters are these two. These are the nostalgia bait characters. And then these characters are what it's actually going to revolve around and, Pando.
I was not happy with the way that the Matrix trilogy ended. Like, I thought that was a really lame fucking ending.
Mm-hmm.
I actually I liked the first one.
Yep. So
I didn't hate the second one.
Me either.
But I hated the third.
I didn't hate it.
I hated the third. I thought the third was.
But I thought it was the weakest one.
It was. I hated the ending, and the whole thing was just like, okay, it's stalemate. Like, I didn't like the whole cloning, the gazillion Agent Smiths. It was cartoony. I did not like it. So
yeah, the CGI in that was really bad.
Yeah, well, not even just the quality of the CGI, just like the story, it was cartoony, and it kind of ruined It ruined Agent Smith's character, honestly. I don't understand where this movie goes.
That's so much fun
from that ending. Like, if there's a piece and a stalemate and everything, then why does Neo need to come back? And then if he does come back, what is he doing who's he gonna fight? Like, what's the point? What happens? It screams like a really it's a cash grab.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier in regards to having creative bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to feed off previously well-received and well-known IPs and titles to try and just to try and fucking get some old audience to make the money, to get the cash grab.
Creative bankruptcy to try to prevent real bankruptcy is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this is just, I mean, it's desperation, I think, for the Wachowski things.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because since The Matrix, they've enjoyed virtually no success and nothing but flops.
Yeah.
And this is just a scream to make them relevant again. And then since then, the whole like, oh, Matrix is a trans allegory, and the fact that the two directors are trans, I'm like, oh God, help us on this movie. Like, are they gonna really like drive that message home in this one?
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be able to help themselves.
Probably.
And again, like, where does the story even go? Maybe
it's just the reset. It's the reset of the Matrix. You know how after Neo saves the day and everything, it all sort of resets.
Well, I would say, like, if you're going to do another Matrix movie, bring back the whole original cast from the second movie and make it so Neo wakes up at the train station, and the third movie never happened.
Mm.
It was all something like he was in a Matrix within the Matrix kind of thing. And just like redo the third movie, then I might be more curious and be like, okay, they're going to end it. Maybe they'll end it better this time. But again, considering who these people are, I don't think. I think they're just. I think they saw the success of the John Wick movies, and just went, well, let's do another Matrix. We'll make a bunch of money.
Yeah, we'll bank on Keanu.
And it's basically, it's just like it'll be John Wick, but in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, I just wanted to show that poster and go, I thought it was a really underwhelming poster. I hate the fact that you've got this blue head chick in there. And
when's the video coming out?
Morpheus looks like shit. I don't know. Maybe I'll just clip this out. I'll have you guys. I'll make sure you guys are in my review video.
Yeah.
What?
Doesn't this movie come out in December?
Is it that close? Come out? Is there a
trailer? You mean like in 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Oh, Matrix what? Resurrection?
Yeah. Erection.
December 22nd.
There you go.
About a month.
Wow.
And we haven't gotten a trailer for it yet, correct?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything.
So we're a month out, no trailer.
Yeah. Do you really think the movie's ready? It's got a release date. I don't know. Don't know.
There was an official trailer September 9th.
Was there?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up to see if I remember seeing it.
I don't really remember if it... Maybe I did see it and I just don't remember. Speaking of trailers, there was the Spider-Man trailer. I'm not going to play it because I do want to actually wrap this up. I'm getting so very, very hungry.
It's got Neil Patrick Harris in it.
Oh, I did see it. I do remember seeing it now. Yes, I do remember seeing it now. Your quick thoughts on the Spider-Man trailer, Tim?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I just know what happens. They bring back,
bait.
Dr. Octopus and whoever else. Like, whatever.
Greg? Thoughts on the
What?
Spider-Man trailer?
If those are the best jokes in the movie, then it's going to be a spectacular shit fest.
I agree with that. I hated the humor in the trailer.
I'll never see it,
Mhm.
so it does. I don't really care, but I'm certainly not interested. Like I don't care about bringing the others. Like that all to me is just a stupid, mindless gimmick.
Mhm.
I hate multiverses as a general rule. I'm not a Spider-Man fan to begin with. And the jokes, though, were awful.
Awful.
Like, cringe awful in that trailer.
Yep. The Scooby-Doo
Like,
one
that's-
and
if
the
that's the
making
funny
fun of Doc Ock.
Yeah, I'm like, man, those were lame jokes.
During this segment, Greg must be referred to as Spider Greg. So what do you think,
I will
Spider
go
Greg?
see it if all the Spider-Men get killed, though.
Okay. Keep that in mind, people.
So
if Spider-Man
if
dies,
after spoilers come out and
Greg
like
will
they
go
all
see
die
it.
a horrific death, then or there's a no, I won't say that.
Earlier, I actually missed a $25 Streamlabs super chat from Jock Nerdy.
Oh, way
It
to
says,
blow it.
"I'm a star. You got me. LOL." That was from when we caught him in the trailer for thing, Moon Knight. Guys, thanks for hanging out. It's been, like I said, it's been a big show. It's been a big week. We'll continue to watch this space or these spaces and see what happens with a lot of it. At least I will, and then I'll keep these guys up to date, and then they can give their commentary on it. You know, like I said earlier, Kathleen Kennedy. My sources have confirmed that Kathleen Kennedy's contract and will be completely fired and step down poorly in 2024. Confirmed. Any last words, Greg, Tim? Have you got what do you got coming up, Tim? Let people know where they can find you. Tim?
Yes.
Please let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
So I'm not going to be streaming very much because my son is actually visiting. So no spacing, no Fall of Night, no Off the Treks, and we're actually not going to do Indecent Behavior on Monday. We kind of decided on that. Plus, over here in the States, it's a holiday week next week, and a lot of people just kind of take vacation time and all that stuff. So we're going to, yeah, exactly. So we're going to take some time off. I'm thinking that we'll be back the following Monday. I think the next thing we do will be Indecent Behavior again. And I think we're working on a couple of different guests possibilities for that. But yeah, so I apologize to our shared audience, but yeah, I got to spend as much time as I can with my son because he's got to leave again to go back into active duty in the military. So I'm going to try and spend all the time I can with him. But yeah, great conversation as always. It was awesome.
It was a good one.
Yeah, and
Thanks
I guess,
on, as usual.
actually, I'll be back here. Well, maybe not because Thanksgiving is on Thursday.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to be able to do next week Thursdays.
Casual Rage.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do my first ever by myself, Casual Rage. We'll see. I'll fuck everything up. I won't be able to read shit properly. It'll be the one stream where I will need help and I'll have no help. No. But guys, Tim, thank you again for coming on. Spend some time with your son and enjoy that time. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Greg, obviously being that Tim's not streaming, you obviously won't be doing much.
I guess I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
Thanks,
but look,
Tim's son, you bastard.
I guess after Thanksgiving, things will ramp right back up again, moving into Christmas. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As for me, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos. I want to do a quick breakdown of that poll that I did on the rematch and just go through some of the comments. So I'll be dropping a video on that in the next day or two. and a few other things on the go. Other than that, you've got the Full Aussie on Lethal Lightning's channel tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, depending on where you are.
Neither tomorrow night or tomorrow morning.
What's that?
Sad. Whatever. Go
ahead. That's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks everyone who sent a super chat. Thanks everyone just being in the chat. We all appreciate all of you. So thank you very, very much. And we'll go. Bye, guys. All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts. Oh, that didn't play.
R4. Pass Judson the spare part canisters.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost!
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney!